This week on the Jock and Nerd podcast, we review the Indian action movie Kill, plus trailer reactions for Captain America Brave New World and Gladiator 2, reviews of the latest episodes of The Acolyte, The Boys, House of the Dragon, and more, all in this edition of the Jock and Nerd Weekly for Monday, July 15th, 2024.
You know who this is, and you know why you're here. You want all the latest comic book and superhero TV and movie news, and by God, you found it. Forget everything else out there. Forget all the Scientology bullshit. This is the real deal. This is the real deal. Worship at the feet of the holy trio of geekdom, the Jock and Nerd podcast. Play it.
Check. Check one. All right. This is for all you fans out there. Let's give it up. Jockin', we nerdin'. We funny, disturbing. We jockin', we nerdin'. We spoiler alert. Oh yeah!
What's up, listener? Thanks for pressing play and welcome to the Jock and Nerd podcast, where we give you comic book and superhero TV and movie news, reviews, and whatever we choose. Jock and Nerd. My name is Imran.
My name's Anthony.
He's the Jock.
And he's the nerd.
And joining us, a fella, well, when he's not singing songs about Antifa on the Boys TV show, he's doing this podcast with us. It's Rug Boy. Was that you, Rugs?
Yeah, I got hit in the ear with some boogers.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Somebody flicked a booger.
Yeah.
Why are you trying to sing about
on me.
Antifa and shit on the Vaught Avenue V, whatever. Anyways, it's the only puppet reference I could come up with. Fellas, we got a fun action movie to review this week and lots of trailers. Couple of trailers to discuss. Let's get to it.
The Jock and Nerd podcast.
Some big trailers, some little trailers. Actually, they're all the same size if you put them on the screen. Okay, let's start with big trailer number one. Something I heard last week was coming out, and it happened. Captain America Brave New World official teaser put out by Marvel before San Diego Comic-Con. Very exciting. We've all heard the problems with this movie and the reshooting and the fact that the budget was like $375 million and they changed shit. And Giancarlo Esposito was added. Nobody knows who he's playing. But having said all that, Anthony, getting our first look at this crazy thing, what do you think?
I didn't think it looked bad. I thought it looked all right. I like the way the trailer was cut. And, it has that spy feel with the music and the way the letters are coming in and stuff. Most people don't know about all the problems, so
Sure.
They don't have that baggage.
That's true.
And you mentioned Esposito, I think, was brought in. A lot of that's new footage.
Yeah.
Where he's put in there.
Yeah.
Overall, I thought it was all right. I thought it was pretty good, decent. You got what Rug Boy has been clamoring for the longest time. Tiamat is in this trailer.
Yes, we could talk about that.
And apparently from some of the not spoilery, but the Easter egg video types, they're all guessing that Tiamat's the source of adamantium and what's causing potentially this conflict.
Sure, some kind of valuable mineral in there.
But you got the leader in this. Yeah. You heard his voice. Yeah. I think the big thing that everyone's gonna enjoy is you got Red Hulk, who's probably played by Harrison Ford as Thunderbolt Ross. So they didn't hide that. They right away and said he's in it. You can see him at the end of the trailer. You'll see it in the poster. So overall, yeah, not bad.
Yo, that Red Hulk at the end,
Geek boner.
This gave me geek boner for this whole trailer. I also thought I was like, this isn't bad. It's giving me Winter Soldier vibes. Rugs, what did you think? You could even see like that side shot of Red Hulk. It kind of looks like Harrison Ford. But just having Harrison Ford in this as Ross as president, I think already adds a certain gravitas or weight because it's fucking Harrison Ford in an MCU movie.
Well, the look of the CG was a little bit flimsy, but I'm sure it'll be better when we actually see the movie. They're still working on it. But yeah, you know what? It felt pretty decent. It didn't have any cringe to it. It seemed like an earnest trying to put Captain America back into the military. There's going to be conflicts between, I keep wanting to call him Hawkeye. What the fuck is it? Falcon America.
Falcon America.
And,
And there's another guy, Falcon. He's there. His buddy's going to be Falcon.
Yeah, there's going to be somebody being the Falcon. He's Captain America. Then you got GW Bridge. Was he a Hulk?
Bridge? I don't know. And like that's
No, I don't think so.
That's the rumor that
Isn't he a Liefeld creation?
I believe so.
Yes, he had like the Wild Pack or
Giancarlo
something.
Esposito possibly playing George Washington Bridge, but Giancarlo Esposito has come out like recently and said so far nobody has figured out who he's playing. He just may be trolling us, but it's going to be somebody like
I heard
that.
it was GW
Yeah,
Bridge.
that's what I heard too. So, but he said this character will be in a TV show after being in a movie. So I don't know where. What was he? I don't know. I forget what Bridge GW Bridge actually did.
Well, he was like, wasn't he tied to cable?
Yeah,
He was like a
he's
cable.
like-
He had something called the Six Pack.
Yes.
I kept I said Wild Pack, but that's like Silver Sable.
Yeah, Andy had
But-
6-pack.
Oh yeah.
Coors Light, always
But,
stashed away. That was his superpower. No, I don't.
So something to do with Weapon X. He joined Shield. He was part of Shield, and he resigned
He was
from
part
Shield.
of Shield, so maybe they're doing like a Shield show that's he's gonna show up in. You know what? I like this trailer, and I think it seems like the time they spent retooling this and the money, it's probably gonna pay off. They probably did the right thing. I love that line where he's like, you may be Captain America, but you're not Steve Rogers. Kind of like what some audience members are saying watching this, you're not Steve Rogers. The wingsuit looks awesome. You get a great shot from the back. I thought that looks awesome. So yeah, you see him fly by this giant rock, and you actually see like missiles firing from this kind of rock in the ocean. That's got to be Tiamat finally.
Is it confirmed, Tiamat?
I'm going to be like, I think it's 80%.
I think it's pretty sure it's Tiamat.
Because before they were going to have something with the Serpent Society. I don't see any of that in here. And fucking Red Hulk. That was awesome.
I still think the Serpent Society
It could be in here.
Could be.
I think the leader is clearly pulling the strings on something and trying to get people to conflict over what seems to be. Again, I don't think they don't put it in the trailer, but I think it's adamantium that this is.
So, but that's the thing. If that's going to be,
wait, let's back up a second. So, I got Giancarlo Esposito, and then there's another guy, the guy who jumps through the window.
Oh, so that's Carl Lumley as Isaiah Bradley from Falcon and Winter Soldier show. Remember that guy?
So that's the other old Captain America.
Correct. So,
there's a scene in the trailer where it sounds from context clues and then from articles, a sound gets played that only he can hear that turns him nuts.
It triggers him, kind of like
comes to assassinate the president.
like Winter Soldier. So I'm just gonna look. Let me just state this because in this trailer,
don't state it. No,
and in The Boys, both of these things dealing with presidential assassination. That's all I'm going to say. It's kind of weird. Anyways,
well, if you want to go that route too, the movie is coming out in February.
Yes,
which is right around right after the inauguration.
Oh shit, that's true too. Isn't that weird? I'm just saying, it's a little weird. Think about it.
Wait, where are you going with
I'm
that?
nowhere. No, I'm just saying. I'm just stating out facts here. This movie, The Boys, have a thing that happened in it. What they did change, though, some of the controversy, if you are not aware, was with this character Sabra, right? That was the name is Sabra, also known as Ruth Bat Seraph, who is a mutant in the comics, superhuman strength and speed.
And very good hummus, by the way.
Great hummus and some fine matzah. You're going to make a mean matzah ball. Introduced in the Incredible Hulk in the 80s as a Mossad Israeli Secret Service agent. Okay. So when people found out about this, kind of both sides of like the Israeli-Palestinian conflict, people were upset. And clearly both sides are going to be upset. So Shira Haas, who's playing this, she will be now a former Black Widow agent and not Mossad, which is how they're going to fix it. So I don't know if she's still a mutant or if she has powers. I think you see her for a second. She's the lady with the bun sitting there in the trailer. But I don't know. I love the line in the beginning where he's like, they told me lose the mustache or lose the election, kind of acknowledging William Hurt's passing.
Well, he's like, I can't get used to the way you look now.
Because Ross.
Where do you think? I mean, I threw some stuff that I speculated on that was seen or speculated on the internet, but I'm going to be honest, I don't really know where the plot is, where it's going, which is kind of a good thing. And I also don't know how Sam, in his current state, can fight the Hulk and fight the leader.
So, okay.
Yes. He needs to take some serum.
No, yes. Those are two very good points. I will say first, it's a teaser, right? And you're not going to get story all the time, but I agree. Also, the next trailer we're going to watch, that's even longer. I don't know what the movie's about, but it's an incredible trailer. But it's the first trailer. They're holding the plot. Secondly, here's what I thought. You have that first, you see that scene of somebody ripping through the White House. Obviously, that's going to be the Red Hulk. And you see the pink trees where the Red Hulk. So if you have a Hulk, how do you fight a Hulk? Think you're going to need another Hulk. Is it possible Ruffalo is in this? And that's why either the Red Hulk exists.
I don't think they're going that route.
No? Or
there would be a Hulk movie.
Yeah.
No, but I don't know if they could still do a Hulk movie with the Universal rights and whatever. How does he?
They could definitely put Hulk in this, but what he's saying is it becomes now a Hulk-focused movie.
That's true. And Sam has no super serum, and that's the whole thing. But you know what? A lot of Natasha had no super serum. Hawkeye has no super serum. Like, with this suit and training, I can almost.
But how do you stop a Hulk?
How do you stop a Hulk?
Right.
And how does he become this Hulk? I'm very curious. Is it because of this assassination attempt? He needed a transfusion. We saw in She-Hulk, Bruce and his cousin's blood mixed together in the accident. I'm wondering, is the gamma radiation? What are they going to do?
Well, wait a minute. In She-Hulk, they made Nerd Hulk. Like Incel Hulk. Remember that?
Well, you mean the son at the end?
The bad guy at the end,
yeah. And then they were trying to steal her blood.
So they have...
So maybe that blood is out there.
But then she went back and re-edited the plot.
Oh, that's right. So that never happened. With AI.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh.
I don't know, but those are two good questions. Ruggs, what do you think about those 2 points?
What?
You forgot my points.
That
you remember the points?
That Falcon needs super serum to beat the Hulk.
How's he going to fight the Hulk?
I don't know.
I actually forgot.
There's probably a surprise in here somewhere. So yes, there's going to be a guest surprise that's going to help him out.
And I'm okay with not knowing kind of where the story's going right now. This doesn't come out till February, so
yeah.
For a tease, though, I think it worked. It gave me a little bit of hope.
I think it looked like a pretty decently made trailer. It didn't look silly.
Yeah.
You know, it's not I don't know if anyone's necessarily. It's the wrong way to say this. I think people would embrace a Sam Mackie Captain America movie. I don't know if they're as enthusiastic about it as they would have been if Falcon and the Winter Soldier was better.
Right.
But at least this isn't Agatha.
Yes.
Where it's like no one wants to see this. And even though we put out a good trailer, it's still, why are we even making this? I think there is room for this. It's just we got to kind of wait and see.
Well, I think the fact that the movie is based around the military and the government and like espionage or something akin to that, I think that automatically gives it some gravitas and some real world things you could connect to. And as long as they kind of told the line where Winter Soldier was kind of serious and not too. It wasn't all jokes and snarky stuff. It was like actually like intrigue and you didn't know who to trust. I think that made nice tension in them. And so they need that same tension. If they can kind of pull that off, then we're in business. It just scares me that it went under so many changes.
Yeah.
But maybe for the better, though, I hope the time helped and that you nailed it down. But I mean, this is a main member of the Avengers. It's a legacy character. This story needs to progress, and he needs to continue.
It better be good. They spent a lot of money and a lot of reshoots and
so there's a lot
of resources.
A lot of writing on this, and you're right. They got to get that Winter Soldier tone, which is what I'm getting, which is nice. And even seeing some of Sam's power as he like cuts through that fighter jet and goes supersonic. I was like, oh shit, all right. Well, he's got some shit. That suit is is dope. So
all I gotta say is Tiamat's back.
Tiamat is back, and
they're finally addressing Tiamat,
and not the kaiju Tiamat, the other Tiamat, not the dope hope
right.
Tiamat. There's also that. There's so many Tiamats, but yes, finally, after how many years, this fucking thing sticking out of the planet. That alone also.
It'd be funny if like a bunch of ships are just pulling up to it and like hacking bits off of it so they could take it a bunch of adamantium.
Or there's like, it's like One Piece and there's like, it's like Party Island and all the pirates are there just drinking, fucking on top of Tiamat. They're like, let's go to this hand and fuck. It's going to be great.
And man, it's Party Island.
Party Island. Listener, let us know what you think. Are you excited to give me
Geek boner?
Give me a geek boner. Join the conversation. Join our Facebook group. It's called Jock and Nerd Nation.
Jock and Nerd.
There's a link in the episode description. It is a closed exclusive group just for you to hang out. A lot of spoiler threads coming. A lot of seasons of shows ending. I need your comments to put in news from the nation. So get on it. Okay, moving on. Next kind of big trailer. Oh, wait. Before I move on to the next trailer, Anthony.
Yes?
You're going to be at San Diego Comic-Con very soon.
Yeah.
Year. Very excited.
Might have mentioned that a couple times.
Yes, I'm very excited. I'm also excited. It's Deadpool and Wolverine weekend. It's going to be huge. Did you see this news? Kevin Feige has confirmed for the first time Marvel has a second MCU Hall H panel planned for Thursday. The day the movie comes out, and it will feature Sean Levy, Ryan Reynolds, Hugh Jackman.
Well, that's cool. I won't actually be there on Thursday to see it. So fun stuff.
Yeah, it starts on Wednesday, right, and it ends on Sunday.
Yeah, I get in Thursday afternoon, so we're not going to do the con Thursday. We're only doing it Friday, Saturday.
You're going out. The panel's called the Ultimate Deadpool and Wolverine Celebration of Life. And I think that'll be exciting. I've been watching a lot of interviews with them lately. Variety did a great interview with the three of them, really long. And they're just them talking about the movies got me super geeked. And hopefully there's some talk about the future of these characters. Also, if you search Twitter, people are posting the entire what Marvel is going to announce at San Diego. And yes,
what are people speculating?
Well, I didn't even want to get into the speculation because it's stuff it's obvious, and I'm like, I'd rather just wait till it happens. But the reason is apparently Disney got hacked and somebody stole 1.2 terabytes of data from their Slack channels. And there's a lot of intel about future movies and stuff like that. It's just kind of interesting. Yes. So that's, I don't know. I was going to bring that up, but it's so close. We could just wait till it fucking happens. Also, there's a lot of stuff about the first 35 minutes of Deadpool out there also. Did you guys see the Bachelorette video? Their marketing has been actually quite brilliant. Because everything there's...
Did you just ask me and Ruggs if we saw the Bachelorette video?
There's a trailer. It's a Bachelorette promo from Deadpool and Wolverine. Have you seen this?
No, I haven't.
It's
cool. Has Ruggs?
Ruggs, have you seen this?
No, I have not seen it. I don't even know what you're talking about.
They've been doing these fun little cross promotions with a lot of different companies. So it's just the joke is they zoom in on Hugh Jackman's ass and Wolverine doesn't know it while he's talking about the Bachelorette. There's another one with Heinz ketchup and mustard because of the suits, and they replaced the logo. So I like what they're doing. They're still only showing shit from the first 30 minutes of the movie, but they're being really clever with filming new content with promotional things. I think it's good. It's not showing too much, but it's keeping it in people's minds. So this thing's gonna break records. Enjoy Hall H. Okay,
I don't think I'm gonna make it into Hall H Saturday.
No, you're not gonna make it.
The way it works is for you and all the listeners, they start line. You can pick up wristbands. What they basically called, I forget what they're called, but they're basically a wristband that guarantees you a seat in Hall H. But you have to pick it up the night before. So for Saturday, for example, you'd go to this spot on Friday. I think they start releasing the wristbands at 8:00, but I'm sure people will be lining up way earlier than 8. And you get a wristband, and that guarantees you a spot in Hall H. But you have to be at Hall H by 7:30 a.m.
in the morning on the Saturday.
Saturday, and you can't leave. And if you leave, that means you've given up your spot. So you'd stay in there all day.
Fuck.
We did that in 13 years ago, but we just stood in line in the morning on Saturday, and we were able to eventually get in. But now they do this whole like you can guarantee yourself a spot if you go in the day before or the night before. Then you have to be there.
It's going to be so interesting seeing this thing 13 years apart. That's fascinating.
Yeah.
How much things are going to change, and I'm sure some things will be the same.
First seating wristband is what it's called.
First seating wristband for Halloween. Well, yeah. I mean, many people go there completely planning to burn a whole day in line.
Well, that's the thing. You don't burn. Well, yeah. If otherwise, you can try to burn a day, but you're just going to stand there in line. It's just one in, one out. So you can avoid. You can not have to go the night before and get there at 7:30 in, but then you just risk sitting in line all day.
Jeez. Sounds horrible. Why don't they just show it to everybody? Everybody paid the same fucking money getting in there. They should all be able to experience what happens. Anyways, moving on. We got another kind of big trailer here, and it is for Gladiator 2, directed by Ridley Scott. It's coming out this November 22nd, starring Paul Mescal, Joseph Quinn, Connie Nielsen, Pedro Pascal, Denzel Washington, crazy cast. And this is another trailer. It is a long-ass trailer. It's their first trailer. It's 3 minutes. You watch this, I'm not sure what the movie's about. But Anthony, what did you think of this trailer? Ruggs, let's start with you this time.
Yeah, start with him.
Gladiator 2, bro.
Looks pretty epic. It's based on an actual the two brothers that are ruling. That's an actual pair that ruled over Rome very briefly before. I don't want to spoil it
Joseph
for you.
Quinn plays Emperor Gaeta. Gaeta?
Yes, Gaeta and Gita.
Oh, Gaeta and Gita. Okay.
And I think I don't know if I said that right, but yeah, they're two brothers that take over, and they run Rome for like a year as a dual emperorship. So they're co-running it.
Yeah.
And so that's historically pulling from history. I don't know if it's accurate, but it's definitely pulling from history. It's got Denzel Washington there. He is a former slave, former gladiator that is now trying to ascend to a higher office using, I don't know if his name is Cassius.
Macrinus. Right? Denzel's character's name is Macrinus.
No, the lead. The
Pedro Pascal plays Marcus Acacius. Yeah.
No, the other guy. The actual.
Which other guy?
The head. The guy.
Lucius. Paul Mescal.
He's Lucius. Yeah, Lucius.
Who is the little boy from the first movie that was with?
Yeah, so Lucius, I guess, runs away from his mom and kind of loses his identity, or maybe he's hiding his identity, and he doesn't want to be associated with, the royalty or whatever. And he gets in with Denzel, who is a former gladiator. Who this guy's kind of like gonna bankroll him and
he's gonna use him
as a way to for propaganda's sake. Right. He's going to try and get the people to love this gladiator so he can kind of use the influence that he has. And then you got this other general that's played by Pedro Pascal that's in the mix too. That's going to have to be, I guess, the champion for these weirdo emperors.
Yeah, because at one point they're fighting each other.
Right.
And I was like, whoa, that's crazy. Okay.
So I mean, I liked everything except for the freaking the hip hop song at the end. I thought that was out of.
We can talk about that because I flipped on that. Anthony, what do you think? Is this movie necessary? Does it look good?
Yeah, I mean, it looks good. Anything Ridley Scott, you can bank on this. Anything Ridley Scott directs is going to look, in terms of aesthetic, look really
good. Sure. They're not always good movies, but they're going to work.
He's going to do his homework for the most part too.
Yeah, no, he's going to make it look really good. He's a little hit or miss these days in terms of the quality of his movies. I got a couple questions. Marcus Aurelius, who was Marcus Aurelius again in the first one? Was that Russell Crowe's character? No, it wasn't.
Maximus.
He was
Marcus Aurelius is a different guy.
Marcus Aurelius, was the old dude.
Yes.
That gets killed, and then Joaquin Phoenix is his son. Okay.
Right.
He's Commodus.
Oh, Richard Harris was Marcus Aurelius, right.
Lucius is this grandson of him and the son of Lucilla. So was Lucilla, because I haven't watched Gladiator in a while, was Connie Nielsen's character?
Yes.
Yes.
Did she fuck her brother? Or when they were just brother and sister, right? No, right? I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't know who's the father of that guy.
Yeah, that's what I guess I'm getting at. Is who's the father of that kid?
And he also says, I don't know my mother and my father, but I thought your mother is Connie Nielsen, so I don't know.
There's got to be a wiki on that.
So the Wikipedia is saying that she doesn't even recognize him as her son. So maybe it's I guess that's part of the movie. We'll figure it out. Yeah, I mean, do we need a Gladiator 2? No, not really. But also, if you make it anything like Gladiator 1 and it lives up to that, yeah, fuck yeah, we'll take a Gladiator 2.
It's going to be fucking sharks in the Coliseum.
Bro, that's one.
I mean, they used to do that, though. I remember they used to put animals
sharks.
Not with sharks.
It was a very common practice amongst Coliseums or whatever you want to call them, arenas, to do naval battles.
I mean, you see that quick shot. They have flooded the Coliseum. There's boats in there. That's amazing. Like, they actually
they made like miniature boats.
Yeah, it's fucking crazy.
It was a prop. It wasn't really like a real deal thing, but they did.
Gotcha.
They had certain. They did it once early on in the Coliseum, like a couple times, 2 or 3 times. They did.
I am surprised we have not seen this in a movie yet, because this is fucking wild. That's great.
But you're going to actually see a real naval battle, too.
Yeah, it looks like.
Yeah, it looks like that, too.
They're hitting the wall.
That's not in the Coliseum. That's happening somewhere else.
Yeah. I loved Gladiator as a kid, and I think I still, if I watch it to this day, I think I would still love it. You guys should look up what the Gladiator 2, one of the sequels that was supposed to come out.
Oh, I think we talked about what they were going to do. Yeah,
where they go to hell and stuff. And they have the actual Roman gods in it.
Oh my god, that would
have been wild.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I don't know. Bad. This one. I watched the trailer and I felt the same way that Imran talked about earlier, where I went, I kind of don't know what the plot is. And I guess that's a good thing. Yeah. I also don't. There was a lot of names being thrown around, and I was just like, who's what?
Yeah.
That's why I was asking you those questions, because I forgot a lot of the names in the original Gladiator. So. Then I got real confused when I saw Connie Nielsen in there. I was going, wait a minute, she's back?
Yep.
How old is she supposed to be in this? Yeah. So a lot of questions. Looks good. Probably will have some epic battles. I think the main thing is if Ridley gets really into just having scenes, long drawn out scenes where nothing happens and he's asking all these theoretical questions and then doesn't have any answers for them.
This is an alien, Ridley Scott. The fuck are you doing?
Well, because he can get a little obsessed with just
but this is
doing shit on screen.
This is straightforward Gladiator shit. You did it once, do it again. You know this shit.
I don't know. I don't know if you just do the exact same plot, but
it's a toss up. But I do think it's rough what he's doing, because he's trying to intermingle like his fantasy, like, which is like this non-historical stuff with historical stuff. He's trying to like fuse the two together, and it's just sometimes it'll work, sometimes it doesn't, so it's when it's more genuine, it works better. I don't know how it's going to play out, because historically I know how it ends, and there's no Gladiator in this story. In the actual history of what happened.
This is an actual
these brothers who ruled for a short time.
I will say,
is this supposed to be set during when Rome is about to fall? Is that what they're getting at?
Well, I mean, it would be like,
I wouldn't think so, because at this point,
what's the deal with these brothers historically?
They rule together, and then one of them, just like Romulus and Remus, kills the other one. He commits fratricide. So he wants the power, and he kills his own brother. And he takes the over the thing. So there could be, I would say, if he's going to try and make it accurate, there could be one of the brothers that appeals to the Gladiator and like strikes a deal and says, if you kill my brother or whatever, help me kill my brother or whatever, then I'll make you do whatever you want. But I don't know. That's the only way I can see it panning out. But yeah, historically, it's fratricide, and the one brother takes over.
I mean, this would have been maybe 25 years after the last movie is really where they're picking up kind of real time. Look, this trailer,
geek boner.
I'm gonna give it a geek boner. Like it, if you had to do another one, I don't mind this idea of picking up with this kid. The battles look epic. The rhino scene look fucking. So we're getting Gladiator, but now more naval battles, rhinos. Yes. Let me ask you about two things. One, does hearing Denzel just kind of be Denzel take you out of it? Because you got a couple of his.
He's got like a New York accent.
Well, it's not that. It's just like he has an American accent. Everybody else has some kind of European or English accent, and he's talking like American. I don't know, but I can see him going, yeah. Like he's just doing Denzel, but he's fucking great. He was in Macbeth, and like I think he just used the same voice doing Shakespeare, so it didn't bother me really. But some people were.
It does raise an eyebrow, but I mean, you're still getting Denzel. It's not like you're getting like. It's not like you're getting like a shitty actor.
Yeah. What do you think, Anthony? Does that take you out at all?
Kind of, but like Ruggs said, he's not going to make a fool of himself.
No,
he's not going to do something that makes it the movie all about him outside of the plot of the movie. He's not going to go, King Kong ain't got shit on me.
Right.
Yeah.
He's going to.
I feel like maybe he had the option to do an accent, and he was just like, can I just do it and do it the way I feel comfortable, so I make it more real.
Yeah.
It's a risk. It's not like I would have expected him to do the accent, right?
But
he's not really known for that.
I can't think of a role where he's doing an accent or even a British accent. Is he? I can't. I don't know. Maybe he's done it, but mostly he's always just Denzel, and that's what you want to see. Okay. Second thing, the music. They're using this Kanye Jay-Z song from like a while ago. Initially, it kind of took me out because I was like, yeah, it's not what I think about when I think about the Roman Empire, which I don't think about that much. Do you guys think about the Roman Empire all the time?
I always do.
Apparently, we always do.
Real men think about the Roman Empire at least.
That's my problem.
Once a month.
Once a month? Oh, okay. Yeah. I could give you once a month. Like some of these guys, 5 times a day, all the time. It's a little much. I got other things.
I mean, there's some months where I think about it every other day, every 3 days.
Sure. It just depends what's going on, right? You're like one thing.
It's very fascinating.
Yeah,
you don't think it's fascinating?
Oh my God.
How often have you said when in Rome?
Yes. Oh, a lot. When in Rome. Yeah. How often have you gone, Rome wasn't built in a day?
Yep.
Wait, Anthony.
How many times have you thought about? Never mind.
When you heard that music, what is your take on the music? Good choice, bad choice on the part of the trailer makers?
What music?
The fucking hip hop music at the end of the trailer.
I feel like it's trying too hard. That's my opinion.
That the music.
Oh, it didn't even affect you at all.
No, let me. I'm gonna play it while you guys talk.
Okay, I'll tell you what. At first, I was like, "What?" But Ruggs, I watched this trailer a couple of times, and I just watched it recently, and I kind of got into it, and I dug it, and I understood because thematically, what they're saying, stuff like "There's blood on the Colosseum floor," salute the king or something. Like thematically, it lines up and it kind of pumps you up towards the end of the trailer. It was only until this, like I watched it 5 times where I was like, you know what? This fucking music is getting me. Like it's pumping me up. So it worked, but it took a while at first.
I mean, look, I would hope that this music is not in the actual movie. It's just in the trailer.
It's not going to be in the movie. It's just for the trailer, and I don't know if it was the best choice.
So I guess for a trailer, it's fine, but I do think it's trying a little too hard. Yeah. To be something to young people. And if, I know it's just weird, but, and then another thing is just, they have like an uphill battle because they got Paul Mescal, who nobody knows who the fuck he is.
Yeah, but he's slowly getting bigger.
He's not like a bankable box office draw.
Listen, him and Joe Quinn are having some moments, right? Joseph Quinn is starting to be.
I don't know who he is either. I know he was in Stranger Things, but like I don't remember him doing anything great. Other than being in Stranger Things and dying
in Quiet Place Day 1. This is going to be big for him and Paul Mescal. Trust me, people are going to know their names. You got Pedro Pascal. Everybody shows up to see Pedro.
Yeah, but I don't buy him as a general either.
Well, but he's also Reed Richards. You got to buy him
unless he has a shotgun and he's blowing away fucking zombies or whatever those things are. The clickers.
Yeah, I didn't necessarily buy Pedro Pascal as this Gladiator warrior.
I feel like the casting's weak, and I think that they're lucky to have Denzel
but
in
he's
there.
he's like Oberyn Tyrell or whatever in Game of Thrones. Like it's almost a similar. He was a warrior, but he was
in that one he was playing this.
He was younger.
Yeah, and he was playing this eccentric guy that was
kind of flamboyant a little bit.
He's a sexy boy. Yeah.
And he was, the way he fought, he was jumping around the mountain and doing all this stuff and talking shit. Whereas this, I mean, we haven't fucking seen the movie. Maybe he does maybe he just puts his own spin on it, but it feels like this is more him just straight up. He's a badass gladiator.
Yeah. Did you?
I don't know.
I don't know.
It's got its challenges, but I think hopefully Ridley Scott will go out into the fucking, guns a-blazing.
Yeah, I think it looks promising. And I
have one question for you guys.
Yeah.
And this is I'm putting you both on the spot.
Oh, shit.
Because we're not going to do an entire episode on this, I don't think. Ridley Scott, we're on the topic. What's his best movie?
Oh, you want his
Magnum Opus.
Oh shit! You want the Magnum Opus? Do you?
Let me throw a few movies at you.
Oh fuck! All right.
Alien, Blade Runner, Gladiator. I'm gonna go with those. Those are the ones I think are the ones in the running.
I feel like his movies have so much impact. I mean, obviously, Alien is going to be the one that has the most impact because
I think that's his best one. That's his second movie.
It's his best movie, no, but I think it's his most important film because it started the whole Alien thing, and it's created a whole genre, and it's still something that is loved by fans. It's been in multiple mediums. It's got the longest reach.
I guess you are answering this correctly because Magnum Opus is defined as a large or an important work of art, music, or literature, especially one regarded as the most important work.
Blade Runner is also up there, but because it defined cyberpunk, like that whole sci-fi aesthetic, like that's a trail. Like that movie, it's not a great movie as far as like pacing and stuff is concerned. It's a very slow moving movie, and it kind of like boils over really quickly, but visually what he does in that film and what he establishes in that film is just mind-blowing as far as the cyberpunk aesthetic, and it's still to this day. So I think if you're going to pick, I think Gladiator is great too, but I think that Alien has got the most impact, and then cyberpunk is a close second.
Look, I'm gonna cheat. If you want, you're gonna hate this answer. If we're talking about impact, Ridley Scott directed the Apple 1984 like promo video commercial in 1983 with the girl running through, smashing the hammer, introducing Apple computers. So many people saw that more than probably the movies he had directed up until that point, and it's still it's an important part of like computing history.
But nobody knows about it now.
You don't think so?
Like you ask some schmuck that's picking his nose on his phone.
You're probably right.
They're not going to ever see that.
Not even what I asked.
So it is, fuck. I mean, it is between Alien and Blade Runner.
Trying to be clever.
I like the argument for Alien, though.
Here, wait. Let me make the argument for Gladiator.
Yeah.
Alien, Blade Runner are his second and third films that he does.
Yeah.
He does a bunch of other films right in between. Just name them off. Legend, Someone to Watch Over Me, Black Rain, Thelma and Louise,
Right. Yeah.
1492, White Squall, G.I. Jane,
Right.
and then Gladiator.
Yeah.
And while Alien and Blade Runner, probably in terms of pop culture, are have obviously longer reigns. Gladiator's getting a second film. Gladiator is in the middle of his career.
Yeah.
And wins Best Picture.
Peak
and Best Actor that year.
Peak Ridley Scott's possibly.
I think that's his most accessible film.
Yeah.
I think that's a
true.
film that you could put on to any person that's like of age to watch that movie, and it'll have impact.
You know what? What else is accessible?
And also at that point too, when he does that movie, I mean, Russell Crowe becomes Russell Crowe.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, but then I think you got to throw in The Martian, which also wins things. It's
I was
also
about to say that
super
too.
accessible. It is a fantastic fucking movie.
It's a great movie.
Yeah, it's really good.
Yeah.
Yeah, Ridley Scott's got some bangers.
But then he did like House of Gucci and The Last Duel and some of these things.
The Last Duel wasn't bad.
I heard Napoleon, like the battle scenes are good, but the movie's boring.
I haven't seen that yet
either. And then the last couple of Alien movies, Covenant.
I gotta get around to watching that.
Instead of Magnum Opus, what's your favorite Ridley Scott movie? Make it easier for you guys.
Whoa, shit. I don't know.
I would say I probably like watching Gladiator and Martian the most.
Yeah, I was gonna say one of those two. Like I love The Martian. It's
because I remember when I watched The Martian, I got the feels.
so rewatchable. Yes.
And when I watched Maximus, are you not entertained? You know, come on, that's fucking great. And you had fucking Joaquin Phoenix at his like peak right there. He was like the creepiest fucking desperate fucking dude.
Yeah, I mean, it was Ben-Hur epic, right? We hadn't seen shit like that in a long time.
Yeah, it was great.
And it was definitely had impact. Oh, it was very good. It's very good.
Yeah, if you want to also if I want to make the argument for Gladiator, right when that comes out, there's a line of movies in the 2000s that try to recreate that.
Yep.
There's your Troys and your, all those types of movies that try to bring back the
Sword and Sandal
era. Yeah.
Because Spartacus was a big movie. Yeah. They had all those, like Cecil B. DeMille.
That may happen again with this Gladiator if it goes well. I mean, but there's a series about Roman gladiators on TV right now. I forget, it's on some streaming thing. It just came out. I forgot what, I was looking at it. So I think this is starting to be.
What's your favorite, Imran? You didn't answer.
It's between The Martian and Gladiator, probably.
Interesting.
Yeah. Did you ever watch Rome? Because I think Rome came out after this.
Rome is fantastic. That was a fantastic show.
That's a great. I want to rewatch it.
Yeah, you got your Ray Stevenson in there.
Because Ray Stevenson's in it. He's fucking great in that.
Expensive show. Okay. Wait, we got two more trailers. Let's move from
the trailers.
From this franchise to another long-running franchise and some Netflix trailer. Did you guys know there is a Terminator anime coming out called Terminator Zero on Netflix?
It's a movie or a series?
This is it's a I don't know if it's a movie or a series.
I didn't catch it either when I watched the trailer. I watched it the other day, but I don't remember if it was a series or just a movie.
It is an anime series. So writing this is this dude Mattson Tomlin, who's writing Batman 2 right now, and you have Timothy Olyphant voicing the Terminator and Rosario Dawson as the lead protagonist. And it will take place in 2022 and 1997. And she's trying to protect this guy who's working on AI, an AI bot to take down Skynet or something. But it's anime style. They put out a quick trailer. Anthony, you see this thing? What does this do anything for you?
I watched it. Excuse me. I really enjoy the Terminator series. I also have no care in the world for anime. So it was two dueling things that were fighting within me.
Yes.
And I'm going to lean towards I don't care about anime, so I probably won't watch.
Oh, that's too bad. This Ruggs, will you watch this?
Well, the thing that piqued my interest about this is that it said that Production IG was involved. Yes,
they did Ghost in the Shell.
They were great animation house, Ghost in the Shell, the Kill Bill stuff. Yeah. And so they usually always turn out something great. So even though I didn't really see anything that notable in the trailer, I know that maybe there's something in there.
It's a quick teaser.
Worth watching. So I'm going to check it out.
Yeah, I'll give this
geek boner.
I'll give this a geek boner. This is the first animated Terminator thing anybody's ever done. So that's exciting. It looks good. This is coming out August 29th on Netflix. Yeah, why not? Fucking maybe this can take the taste out of your mouth from the last fucking few horrible things. Has anybody watched Dark Fate again? It's been on TV. Sometimes I'll throw it on.
No. Which one is that one?
That's the one with Arnold and Linda Hamilton, and he's he's the last one.
I've watched a few of the fight scenes on YouTube, but I haven't watched it.
Some of it's funny, but it's just there.
It's better than your Genesis.
Yeah, it's much better than Genesis, but But
the problem with Dark Fate for me is they open it up by killing John Connor.
Yes.
which just nullifies those other two movies, and I hate that.
Like a young John Connor, right?
3.
Yeah, like there was the Eddie Furlong John Connor that they went back and killed. But this is such a rich world. I want more stories. There's great comics, and anime is perfect for it. Okay, then one last trailer, little show everybody might have forgotten about. The Umbrella Academy, also based on comics, the final season, season 4. This is another show that the last season aired like 2 years ago. You forget these fucking things are happening. I'm glad this is the final season. Anthony, Ruggs. No, Ruggs, I'm gonna start with you. Did you see this? Are you still into the Umbrella Academy?
I didn't watch the 3rd season.
Didn't watch the 3rd season. Okay.
I lost interest in it. Now I watched the trailer for this. I didn't recognize anyone.
Come on.
Like everybody looks different. Either the kid grew up, the girl
Allison.
like looks different now, completely like a different person.
Diego.
And well, we know about what's her name? What's his name now?
Page. Victor.
Yes, Elliot Page. Yeah. Okay, I recognize that person. But everybody's unrecognizable except for the one guy. The kid is like grown up. The kid. Number 5. I don't remember anybody's name. I don't remember the story.
Mouse is the weird one.
Because it was like they were resetting time, or they were going back.
There was a lot of end of the world shenanigans and time resetting and parallel universes, and
so
it's wacky, it's charming, it's quirky.
Is it good?
I you know what? I kind of missed this show. I'm invested in these characters. Like, I love the characters and their family dynamic. I love how it's like a fucked up X-Men show, essentially.
And then there was like a whole other group of them.
They split. They were in another timeline, and there was another group, the Sparrows, and their dead brother Ben was alive. And so it looks like this season has to do a lot with that.
I kind of lost interest in
Anthony Winterbill on the show. Do I make you watch it the last season? I don't know.
No, I'm the same as Ruggs. I think we bailed on it after the 2nd season.
Yeah.
Going into the 3rd. So I was also, there were some characters I recognized, but there was a lot where I was looking at it, and it took me the entire trailer to be like, oh, those people are in the Umbrella Academy. Those are some of the characters. So yeah, I've completely forgotten about most of the characters. I vaguely remember what the plot is and how it's kind of this multiple timeline thing, but there would be no real opinion for me to give you because I did not watch the last season.
There's talking.
Imran, this one will be on you to watch and talk about amongst the 17 other things you watch each week.
That's what we're going to do. Remember, there was a talking chimp. They've saved the world multiple times. I know it's a show a lot of people probably have forgotten about, but once I saw this, I was like, oh, I miss these guys. It's a charming show.
That's the big thing about they have no momentum.
Bro, everything is taking 2 years. All these shows, the strike didn't help.
Maybe the strike did it too, but they're killing all these shows. We are watching
things come out, and their last seasons were in 2022. Like Cobra Kai is coming out, this week. Something coming out early next year. Oh, Stranger Things 5 coming out next year. That also last season was 2022, and everybody's grown up. So it's What do
you think? Just real quick, Ruggs, what made you lose interest in Umbrella Academy?
I think that they brought in this other team.
Yeah,
with the
that's
Sparrows.
how the 2nd season ended, I believe.
Yeah, and I was like, oh, this is too many characters for me to fucking care about. And I'm like, they're doing this thing where they're running around resetting shit, and then like the characters are taking on completely different lives and everything. And I was like, I don't know. I'm like, I kind of like the characters that we had. Like, why do we have to reinvent them every time?
Yeah,
and it could be fun, but I don't know. I just didn't have the urge to. I don't think there was anything really like malicious about it. It was just like didn't have the urge to the curiosity to even throw it on.
It makes sense.
Yeah, I think I had the same. Where it was, I enjoyed the 1st season. The 2nd season was all right, but not memorable enough for me to go, I want to see where this story's going.
Right.
Look, it was one of those things where I dropped it and I didn't even miss it. Just like, glad I don't have to watch that every week.
Right.
Yeah, it's like the option was, do I want to watch this or do I want to watch something new, or do I want to go revisit another movie that I really love or that I haven't seen in a while? And so I always would pick something else, and then eventually I forgot that it even existed. So that's what happened.
I mean, I'm still in just because now we can say goodbye, and hopefully they can have closure if this is the final season. Wrap it up. 4 is enough. But I did kind of forget about this show. That's also in August.
As did everyone else.
Yes. August 8th, that is coming out. All right, let's take a break here. I'm going to play some promos. We'll come back and talk about the bloodiest action movie that India has ever made, possibly. It's called Kill. We'll talk about it right after this.
After these messages, we'll be right back.
Was A Quiet Place inspired by Signs, It Comes at Night, and War for the Planet of the Apes? Was Ready Player One influenced by Avatar, Wreck-It Ralph, and The Last Starfighter? Is the Hurricane Heist more influenced by Sharknado or Geostorm? These are the kinds of questions my guest co-hosts and I discuss on my podcast, Piecing It Together. Every week, we look at a new movie and try to figure out what other movies inspired it. Whether it's the story, the character development, tone, or even use of music. Every movie was influenced by something that came before, and we want to figure out what. Check out Piecing It Together on your favorite podcast app or check us out on piecingpod.com. You can also follow us on social media at piecingpod. Piecing It Together is a part of the All Points West podcast network.
Have you ever been reading through a stack of comics and thought, maybe I should see what this Arkham Asylum game is all about? Or been playing Marvel vs. Capcom and felt like you were at a real disadvantage since you didn't know who half the characters were? Well, Play Comics is the show for you. I'm Chris, and each episode we take a look at video games based on comic properties and how well they stick to that source material. So whether you know the comics and want to know how all these games work, or you know the games and want to find out where all this craziness came from, go check out Play Comics at playcomics.com or wherever you find your favorite podcasts.
Jock and Nerd.
Listener, if you enjoy this show, this is a great time to join our Patreon fan club. Visit jockandnerd.com/Patreon. Jock and Nerd. Why is it a great time? Because if you sign up, you get stuff. There is a bonus podcast feed, an extra exclusive, the real podcast feed where the shows come out early, and you can hear Anthony hate watch Star Wars week to week as the Acolyte comes to an end. Been fantastic. But also, we put up instant reactions to movies we've seen. A couple of those went up this week. You can also join us for our monthly Discord hangout. That's lots of fun. This month's Discord is this week, July 18th, this Thursday. Anthony, if you're free, feel free to pop in or don't.
When is it?
This Thursday, July 18th, this Thursday.
No chance.
Son of a bitch.
Floppy Jock.
That's a floppy Jock.
Maybe.
Anthony.
Maybe. I mean, 20% chance. I'm moving the next day.
Oh, that's right. Okay. Well, that's a big thing.
So I'm not sure I'll have my stuff set up.
Oh, that's a good point. All right.
Where are you moving?
I'm moving. Yeah, I have to move apartments.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Moving sucks. It's the worst thing ever. Good luck.
Yeah, it sucks. Yeah, fucking moving.
Sign up for the Patreon to help Anthony move into his new apartment. It'll
help me out.
Yes.
Help a brother out, as the kids will say.
I'll pay you in pizza.
No kids are saying that.
I'll pay you
pizza and beer.
Pizza and beers. You carry the sofa? Fuck you. We're not friends anymore. All that fun stuff, jockandnerd.com/Patreon. Check it out today. Okay, let's get into this week's movie review. We are going to be discussing an obscure kind of small release. It is an Indian movie simply titled Kill. Just Kill. No exclamation point. It's just Kill. Here's your spoilers.
Strap yourselves in, you fucks. Spoiler time.
Spoiler time.
Now, I don't know how many people went out to see this movie. It was out for maybe like a week and a half, and a lot of theaters had one showing, and it would be a weird time. But Anthony, we mentioned last week, we saw trailers for this before Boy Kills World. A couple other movies got me very excited to see it. On Rotten Tomatoes, this movie is sitting at 90% tomato meter. 82% audience score. And I couldn't find the budget anywhere. See if you can look that up. But so far, it's not made a lot of money. $1 million, 1.2 million worldwide. It was maybe only in 1,000 theaters, which is like less than a quarter of the theaters in the country, but it was playing at the fancy Indian theater you went to, Anthony.
That's right.
Cine Lounge. We should get a sponsorship.
Cine Lounge. Yes.
Cine Lounge.
You need to walk in there and work your voodoo magic.
We might have to do Jock and Nerd collaboration, do some screenings.
Live show, maybe?
Yes, watching Indian Bollywood action movies. It is a Bollywood movie, but it's very unlike most Bollywood movies. This movie's written, directed by this dude, Nikhil Nagesh Bhatt. And then I'm going to say some names. You're not going to know anybody. But just rest assured they're in this movie.
Just rattle them off for us, Imran. Maybe one of the names will catch us.
So the lead,
oh, yeah, I've heard that one before.
The lead character, his name is Amrit. He's played by this dude who goes by one name, Lakshya. Apparently, this is his feature film debut. He's a big heartthrob on Indian television, but this is his first movie.
Oh, he was a TV star?
Yes, he was a TV guy, and just broke in with his abs now into action movies. Playing one of the bad guys, Fani, is a dude named Raghav Juyal. Playing Amrit's girlfriend, Tulika, Tanya Manikatala. Playing the main guy, Amrit's buddy, Varesh, Abhishek Chauhan. And the father of the girlfriend is played by Harsh Chaya. And there's other people in here. You know, Meenal Kapoor, Nadrij Sinha.
Can we trust that you're saying the names correctly?
No, you can't. Okay. Ashish Vidyarthi. I'm trying.
That seems pretty good.
Madhu Raja, Arun Thakur. There's some fun names here. But I do love how the lead guy, he just goes by one name, like Prince. He's Lakshya. Also,
there's no Imrans in this film.
There's no Imran. That's more of a Pakistani than Indian. These are very
okay.
Heavy
I didn't know that.
These are very heavy Indian names. Vipan, Dhawan. You know, you can kind of tell. Pakistanis have more like Ahmed and Khan and Imrans. Choreographed by an action director, O.C. Young, who has worked on the movie Snowpiercer, doing action. This movie is rated R, 1 hour, 45-minute runtime. Anthony, what happens in Kill?
Well, in Kill, and that it's been about almost a week or so since I've seen this movie, so I'm doing this off memory.
Yeah, me too.
But in Kill, we have a military man that is in love with a girl, but she is Indian and is arranged to marry someone else. So he decides to board a train with her and her family to, I guess, steal her from the family. Not steal her, but confess his love and maybe win her approval. I don't know what's going on there. But he loves her, but he can't marry her because she's arranged to someone else. While on this train, a bunch of criminals are also on the train, and they're looking to rob everybody. And this military man, with his love for this family and specifically this girl, cross paths with all these burglars and bandits on the train, and shit goes down. It's Die Hard on a train.
They picked the wrong train to rob.
Exactly.
This was not the day. All right, so
it was not the day for anyone on that train. That's for sure.
It was not the day for a lot of people. Passengers, bad guys, good guys. Oof, bloody, gruesome, visceral. Anthony, what did it hit? Did it slap, as the kids say? What'd you think?
Yeah, I mean, I think I talked about this last week, but I did enjoy the movie. I'm very curious I know what Imran's going to say, so I'm curious what you say, but I'm more curious what Ruggs says, because Ruggs has harsher eye on these types of movies. Yeah. But overall, I think this movie definitely slaps. It ratchets up the intensity as it goes along. I think one of the unique things about this movie, because we've seen now a lot of these types of movies of very violent hand-to-hand combat, close quarters, knives. You know, this isn't a new thing. This is, The Raid has done this plenty of times, and other movies, have done this, and John Wick has done this now. So we've seen it. I think what makes this makes this movie interesting and gives it a little bit of a twist, and something I noticed right off the bat is right in the beginning, it starts off very lovey and very Bollywood love story.
Yeah, it's a bait and switch.
It has this very whimsical tone. Yeah. And then you get on the train, and there's definitely action and things happen. But I was watching it, I remember vividly going, this isn't that bloody. It's definitely hard hitting, but it's not that bloody. Yeah. And then something happens to the girl that this man loves, and she brutally goes out.
Yeah.
And when that title card hits and it goes kill, which is halfway through the movie, then the movie ratchets up another level. So there's this kind of misleading tone in the beginning that then escalates further and further that I think gives this movie a unique quality. And then once that happens, there's other things that make it unique that we can talk about later. But once that happens, it is game on, and it is fucking brutal and almost becomes a horror movie in some parts, and just so I think that is what makes it stand out, and all that to say is it slaps, as the kids would say.
It slaps. I will say that I thought that was a great bait and switch. You literally have acoustic guitar in like a romance scene, and I'm like, what the hell's going on? And then like you also, before the thing happens, and I'll just say it in a minute, I was like, he's just beating these dudes up. He's not killing anybody. Why is he holding back? And then, listener, you're not going to see this movie. Nobody's going to see it. 45 minutes in, his girlfriend...
Well, you hit the spoiler button, right?
I already hit the spoiler. And the structure is wild. 45 minutes in, the girlfriend is brutally kind of murdered in front of him by the one bad guy. Stabbed 3 times in the neck, right in front of him, and tossed off a moving train.
Oh, shit.
And then you see the title card kill, and I was like, whoa. And you cut back, and you're like, bro, he is activated. He instantly just snaps a dude's neck. And you're like, oh, shit, it's on now. I thought that was fantastic. Ruggs, let's get the other side of this. What did you think?
Well, let's start off by saying the good things. All right. So I thought what they did for the money is admirable. I feel like that everybody involved is up and coming. So like this director, it's got promise. This action star's got promise. I feel like everything was directed well, acted well. I feel like what Anthony said about them kicking it into another gear, into a more of a horror gear, kind of makes it different and all that stuff. Now, I've seen a lot of movies on trains. We've seen Midnight Meat Train. You have Snowpiercer. You got Train to Busan. You got the Bullet Train.
There was that Chinese movie we watched.
You have Under Siege 2.
Under Siege 2. It's no Under Siege 2.
All right. So there's a lot of train movies.
Well, the good, the bad, and the weird. That's a train movie.
Yeah, there's a lot of train movies. We've seen a lot of train. Mission Impossible had a big train scene. We've seen a lot of train stuff. And I feel like for a movie that's an hour and 45 minutes long, it's 15 minutes too long. That's number one. And I feel like that even though there is some great fighting in here, there is some really cool, there's things that annoy the shit out of me, and I felt like they were repeated too many times. Like, first of all, there's bad guys. They're bandits. 40 of them get on the train. They're all related. Yeah, which is even more improbable.
It's a family business.
And every single time one of them dies, they act like shocked, because why would anyone kill a bandit that's holding people at knife point?
We're robbing the train.
They got to get into this business expecting every once in a while shit is going to happen. So they like every time someone died, they're like, "Oh my God, my dad is dead. My brother's dead." I'm like, "Okay, but all right. We're really going to stop and have a mourning session every time someone dies?" So I felt like that kind of slowed things down a little bit. And then that there was too much of the same thing going on to keep my interest like at a peak. So, which is not saying that I wasn't interested and I wasn't entertained, because I was. I thought it was very entertaining. I liked the music. I love the music cues, and I loved it. But I expected so much more, because I was hearing people telling me like how great it was. And even Dan Murrell like said best movie that he's seen, action movie that he's seen. And I was like, oh, it's got to be great. And I was like, you know what? It's a good movie, but it didn't really move me, like, because I felt like they didn't really use the train to all of it. So they had that one scene where he hung people.
That was great.
Like,
yeah.
And
it's
whatever.
dark, and he's hiding amongst the bodies.
But that was the only creative thing they really did. And it just seemed like it could have been more. I don't know. Maybe they didn't have the budget to do more with it. I don't know. But like, I just felt like it could have been more creative in how he dealt with it. I would have liked, that would have been more engaging. But I know what they were going for, like where he flips a switch, he becomes a killer, and he becomes more scary than the people that are on the train. And people on the train are afraid of him. those are all dynamics that work to a degree, but I felt like at a certain point I was getting desensitized to it.
It's a little numbing by the end. It's
so
yeah, I agree with that. Because I wrote down in my notes, because I when I saw the movie, I liked it a lot. Don't get me wrong, but I wasn't blown away. And I think one of the things that Rug Boy was mentioning, and the kind of hinting at, and I noticed it too, is I felt like it was very repetitive at some points. Like the action scenes, they were brutal, but there's only so many times you can have him fight 20 Indian dudes on a train, where at some point during the movie, I started getting a little repetitive, and I also lost track of where everyone was on the train.
That was confusing.
Like where are they progressing to? I couldn't figure out if they were moving backwards or forwards or whatever.
One thing that I will also say is, yes, you had that repetitive quality to it. And there was also like the amount of injuries that didn't do anything. And I know that there's two things that really happened too many times. There was a lot of repetitiveness. They should have cut it down. They had the main guy, Amrit. He gets captured by them like twice or three times.
He's stabbed several times. He's beaten. He's choked.
Yes. And so like they have him dead to rights too many times. So it just you're like, oh, again?
No, that means he's fucking badass, bro.
I don't know. Like all they had to do was stab him in the face and he'd be dead, or cut his throat and he'd be dead. Like he had no value, right? He wasn't the people that he was trying to ransom. So I don't know why they didn't kill him. So that was a problem too. Like, sure, like in action movies, people get like these flesh wounds and they're fine, blah, blah, blah. But this dude was he went in and he took off his shirt and like wiped some of these cuts down, and he was like, oh, I'm good to go.
Well, this movie has the obligatory action movie thing of shirtless hero stitching himself up like fucking John Rambo and shit a little bit. Come on.
Yeah, he has abs.
That's when it gets serious, when the guy takes off his shirt. That's a classic 80s thing.
But it's a tease. He just puts it back on.
It's very unbelievable how much he gets fucked up and keeps trucking through.
But that's why I kept rooting
for him. That dude had a machete, and he would just plant that right into people's shoulders
and heads. Yes,
into the side of their body, and then they would just keep walking like nothing happened. Like,
let me just give you my.
What was his party with the mustache boy?
The hero's buddy.
That was Luigi. Indian Luigi.
He was like
Mario and Luigi.
He was Indian Andrew Schultz.
Varesh was Indian Andrew Schultz too, also a little bit.
No,
that dude got shot.
What were you going to say?
But I'm just going to give you my overall thoughts. I had a lot of fun with this movie.
We forgot to get your thoughts.
I really enjoy it. I think it's a solid revenge movie. It's a little bit John Wick, a little bit The Raid, a little bit Die Hard on a Train, a little bit Snowpiercer. And Ruggs, it is slightly repetitive, and you were like, they didn't do anything new. I think what impressed me was how they shot this fucking movie, because it's essentially in a hallway on a train the whole time. And I'm watching these shots and you can follow all the action. It is
right.
It is really claustrophobic. And I saw some behind the scenes. They built this crazy train set where walls would collapse and things would go up, and they replicated the train, and there's a dolly on top, all these things to get these shots. So I thought the tight quarters, I can follow the action. I thought it was shot really well. And it is fucking bloody and graphic.
So you were impressed that they used sets.
I was impressed at the way he shot this movie. Actually, I was impressed with the action, too.
You've never done that before.
I like this brawler style action choreography.
I think it's very kinetic and it's well shot. And it does have impact. And I was like really confused about the fact that, number one, there's all this shit going on the train and no one thinks to like go to the guy who's driving the train. And
also, there's cops on the train the whole fucking time.
Yeah,
apparently.
They're just sleeping.
What are they doing? Well, it's Indian militia.
Like everybody's in terror except for in that break. They're just having fun in the break room over there.
And those guys had no idea, and you weren't really sure what if they were on the front of the train or the back of the train.
Isn't there some asshole checking tickets every 5 minutes?
No, not on this train. You just jump on.
Well, things are different in India, Ruggs. The rules don't apply out there.
So this is there's a lot of cultural stuff, like her being forced to be engaged, kind of the caste system, like her father's more powerful and he's army, and then even the bandits are lower.
Right.
So they,
Apparently, his last name, the
Yes.
father's last name is like a rich last name.
He owns like the transport company or something. So, they want, I also love the personal stakes on both sides. I thought that worked. You have the hero. They've killed his girlfriend. Everybody is in danger. He's got to save him. They shot his buddy. But then you have this family of bandits, and it's literally a family. There's like old dudes with white hair and out of shape dudes. And it's like, this is their family business. And yeah, they're crying, but I like that both sides got to show emotion.
Yeah, I do agree with you there, Imran. I think that was another thing that I thought was different was they kept going to the bandits. And normally in these types of movies, the bad guys, if you look at the Raid or your John Wicks or even your 80s, all the bad guys are just bad.
Right.
You never really get their perspective. And although it does get repetitive with how many uncles and fathers and sons die.
Yes. It's hard to follow sometimes.
And how many, like each person is now more enraged because of it.
Yes.
I did enjoy that they were going, these guys were basically, it's like some of them were like, let's stay, like the main villain is an asshole and just wants to kill him. But a lot of the people are like, this is pointless. Let's just get the fuck off of this thing. Like, why are we still here?
So, and I love that reasoning. He was like, we could just get off the train. And the old dude is like, look, this guy's powerful. If we get off the train, he is going to hunt us down and kill us. We have to stay. So the older bandit was like, we need to kill this guy. The young bad guy, Fani, was like, no, I want to kidnap him and ransom him.
Yeah.
To get some money because so they're clashing. I get from the point of view of the bandits, right? I love that there's no guns and they just have machetes and knives. These people just got on this train expecting to rob people and nobody resist. Not be a problem. That they picked the wrong train. So when people start dying, like they did not sign up for all this murder and putting their life on the line.
Fani or whatever realizes that the one guy is important and makes it more of a thing.
Yes. And
the old rich guy.
Yes.
The father of the girl.
Baldeo Singh Thakur. Yes.
That guy, yes.
Yeah, that guy. And then you have the sister who's a hostage on the other side. There's some good stakes there.
The sister thing was decent, but it felt like they kind of dropped that.
Yeah, it didn't seem like it was as urgent as it should have.
He was like, oh, I'm going to capture her for her, or I'm going to get her back for my deceased.
That was the motivation, I promise.
But then I felt like and correct me if I'm wrong, I've watched this over a week ago. I felt like he just got her. It wasn't a thing anymore.
He did just save her and get her
she
free.
just kind of was already there.
He was already there. Yeah, he didn't need to save her or something. Something happened where it wasn't as big of a deal. So they kind of play some things up that get dropped. So there was a little unevenness there in the plot.
Look, I mean, it's an entertaining film. It's fun.
100%.
Very entertaining.
It's just not. I don't think it deserves like a lot of the. I hate when I go in with my expectations high.
See, I disagree. I felt like it delivered.
Well, come on, Imran.
What I was from the trailer.
There's no particular reason.
What it promised, it fucking delivered. Okay, hold on. I'm gonna go.
I mean, let's just call a spade a spade. Both of your thoughts are on brand for each of you.
Well, that's true.
There's Rugboy going in with it's not that good.
We're consistent.
Then Imran going, it's the best.
Fuck that show.
We're consistent of anything.
Well, it's good. I'm not saying it's not good. I know. Good. It's just I went in with these high expectations, and I was like, oh, this is going to be better than Train to Busan. This is going to be as good, and it isn't. It's
not.
Train to Busan it has a lot more. I don't know. It has a lot more urgency.
There's and way more emotional weight and stakes that continue to build on each other.
There's emotional weight in this fucking movie.
No,
People are crying.
There's a lot of crying. But I'm saying that starts to become a parody of itself at some point.
But when he killed the fucking girlfriend in front of him, I was like, holy shit.
That was brutal.
I love, I thought it was hilarious that he proposes to her in the bathroom. That was fantastic. I want to go through some of the kills.
That is cool that it's the last moment that they have together is that the proposal.
Yeah, and then they show you flashbacks after she dies, so you kind of build a connection.
Yeah, and I don't, while we're on that, like the girlfriend dying, I don't remember too many movies with a title card dropping in the middle.
45 minutes
No, that's a new thing. But how...
It's a unique structure.
How on the nose is that though? Kill. Like that's the name of the
title.
It's probably the worst title in the world.
What else could you call this though? Last Stop.
They should have named the title character Nick Hill, And then
Nick-
it should have been Nick Kill.
That's the name of the director, which is kind of funny.
Yeah.
There's some good lines too, where he's like, "Oh, they'll get off all right, but only for their funerals." I was like, "Come on, that's good. Give me some more of those fucking lines."
It's a good line. I don't know
It's a good action movie line.
It's a great action movie line. I don't know how he delivered it because I don't understand Hindi enough to be like, this is an all-time line.
You know what's funny is it says it's a Hindi language movie, right? But I understood a lot of it. Like it was very close to Urdu in Pakistan.
Aren't they similar languages?
It's very similar. I almost understood like almost all of it. It was crazy. That was kind of cool. Where I was like, "Oh, this is fucking."
You said you had some kills though. You wanted to go over?
Yes, look. There were some creative kills. Right. Here's what we got. We got a lot of stabs in the neck. We got a lot of stabbing. All right.
That's what you're starting with.
Well, I'm getting this skull bashed in.
I'm listing it out. We got a couple of heads to the toilet bowls. That one guy.
Those are fun.
The one guy getting smacked. We have a fire, not just a fire extinguisher head squish. We have fire extinguisher in the mouth.
Yeah,
turned on kill.
The one where he beats the guy's head, bashes it with a fire extinguisher was pretty fucking.
That was brutal.
That was rough.
The other one where he kicks the guy's head and snaps it off, and you kind of see like the bone. Sticking up,
snaps it forward.
What about when the old ladies beat the shit out of that guy?
Oh, with the field hockey stick. I love that the passengers got involved. They got personal because one of their kids died.
That's when the big guy goes.
I love the big guy in the blue suit. You had this one boss battle, like the middle henchman.
I'll give them a lot of credit for that. When you have, anytime you can get a big guy, and he's a motherfucker, and you have him fight the protagonist, you always got to have a big guy.
You got to have a big guy.
Any action movie, if you don't have a big henchman. What are you doing?
Yeah. He was good, and then he was all upset because his dad got killed.
Well, wouldn't you be upset too? You didn't fucking do this thing just to rob some people.
But I mean, he was fucking. These people were like, they were hurting people.
I was saying that to myself. I was like, you guys are criminals. You didn't think? Come on, why are you being?
This might be this is. I don't mean to offend anybody, but when they all started midway or 3/4 of the way through the movie when they started crying again about an uncle or a father dying.
Yeah.
I got confused and went, wait, didn't the father die? Or didn't the uncle die? I was losing track of whose uncle was whose.
There was a lot of fathers and uncles.
It wasn't established good enough too. So
you're right.
Like, okay, this guy's dead. Oh, that guy's someone's uncle. Okay, everybody's and then I realized like everybody's related here.
We also had a lot of bone crackings. We had a lot of knives thrown into eye sockets and mouths and kicked into the mouth. We had a machete to the head when Fonny kills that first security guard, which is so brutal too, because he's like, he's talking about his son. He's like, "Oh, I can help you out. Take my number." And the guy's like, "Thank you so much." And then he just chunk the back of the head. So I thought the repetitiveness didn't really bother me because they kind of managed to keep it going. And I was exhausted, like watching a John Wick movie at the end.
Right.
This fucking guy going through all this shit.
I think which
is a good thing.
I just think that the nature of I feel like the nature of the movie made it seem more repetitive, because it all took place in this little claustrophobic set piece, and the set pieces didn't change at all. Like even though they went to different cabins, all the cabins looked the same. And
but the train cars,
and you never know, and you never really know. I brought this up earlier, but you never really know if they're going forward or backward on the train.
That is true. I was confused. Like, where are the passengers hiding? Where they lock the door down?
So when you're watching the raid, even though it takes place in a building, there's different rooms.
Yeah,
there's the kitchen. There's the kitchen. You have a feel of a progression of movement.
And the hallway and stuff.
And then John Wick, they do street scenes in a building on the rooftop. They're constantly moving and adding different elements to it. So even though like you have a John Wick movie that's 3 hours long, they're changing the scenery, and even that gets repetitive. By the way, I'll say that about the John Wick movies.
Quick tangent about John Wick 4. I watched. There was a Corridor reacts to special effects. Did you know in John Wick 4, you know that whole scene in the Arc de Triomphe around the streets, around the Arc de Triomphe, and it's busy traffic? Like, they shot all the action real and a lot, and the whole background is added in post. Where,
wow.
Yeah, I thought it looked so real. I thought they shut the fucking Arc de Triomphe down and actually filmed it there, but they shot all the people are real. The stuntmen are real getting hit. Everything in the background is fake and added later. That was amazing. I had no idea.
That's crazy.
Yeah. Anyway, speaking of CG, we forgot to mention the one questionable CG, but you have a lighter fluid in the mouth death, which was also kind of brutal. It fucking lights the guy.
Oh yeah, the one of someone's uncle gets lighter fluid in the mouth.
Is that the main bad guy who gets his head burnt off?
Is that him?
He? Yeah.
No, was it?
Yeah, the old guy, his dad, like Fonny's, like the guy he was answering, the guy who was in charge of.
How did Fonny die again?
Well, he goes out on the train, comes back in on the train. He gets killed by
he brutalizes him. I think he pins him down and he stabs him a bunch of times. I think he punches the fuck out of him. Yeah, a million times.
Yeah.
So I did have a question about the end. So in the end, he this fucking Umrit, with a little help from passengers and his buddy, he takes down like 40 guys by himself. Like he just slaughters everybody. And he ends up sitting on the bench when the train stops. And then he is talking to the ghost of Tulika.
Yeah, Very the Crow at the end of The Crow.
Now, I was like, did he die? Because she says something like, this is, I had to die to spend time with you. Is this the only way? And I'm like, is he fucking dead too? I don't know. They left it ambiguous, but it was kind of nice. What'd you think of that ending? The way it ended.
It's fine.
What'd you think of that ending? The way it ended?
The way it ended.
Yeah, I mean, he's dead.
Is he dead? So you thought he was dead. That was your read. Interesting.
Yeah, he's literally, the read on it is he's probably stumbles out of that train and he's on the way to heaven. Or
he dies on the way.
They're going to do the next movie. It's going to be on a plane.
It'll be played.
I mean, there's a line in there that he says where it's basically, he says it or she says it. I forget the exact person, but they're basically going, only way we can be together is if we died.
Yeah, that's what she says. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's where it's at. He's dead.
And then it just ends there. It was a nice ending.
Don't get me wrong. I think the movie's very, very good. I think they hit a pretty solid, as far as an action flick, I think they hit a pretty solid, if we're going with baseball references, a double, maybe even a triple. They didn't hit a home run.
Okay.
I don't think it's going to be, it's not going to be like the Raid or anything where you're trading this around. I don't think.
You don't think it'll be a cult classic action?
I think it'll be good. I just don't think it's not genre changing like the Raid was, or your John Wick or things like that.
It does have everything you'd want kind of in an action movie, right? It kind of checks all the boxes, so it's nothing new, but
it checks all the boxes and does have its own twist that I talked about earlier with the way the tone switches.
Yeah, in my instant review, I pretty much said it was mid. I'll take it up a little bit over mid, but I still think it was lacking in a few things, and it could have been edited a little bit better. Listen, you're going to go watch an action movie. You're probably not going to care about anything as long as the action is good, and the action is good. So if you're just down to watch action, you're going to get that and some more, right?
I can see how this is genre changing in Bollywood. This is considered a Bollywood movie.
Right.
They really don't do explicit graphic action like this. It's always kind of safe,
right,
and more stylized. So he's really breaking norms and trying to do something different within his own industry.
I think it is groundbreaking for a Bollywood movie to have no songs and shit.
Yeah. There was this interview with him, and there's a couple of interesting things he said. He writing the story for this, the director, he said he was inspired by a real-life train robbery that he experienced in 1995. His other inspirations were the movie Atomic Blonde, but he said the biggest inspiration was Aliens, James Cameron's Aliens, in that you have Ripley protecting Newt, and then you have the mother alien taking care of her family, right? Both sides, if you look at them from both points of view. And he kind of pulls that off. And again, the set, some of the behind the scenes, the set, this Transformers set they talk about, how they made this thing is wild. It's so cool. So, and then he also wanted to make sure he showed men showing emotions in an action movie. And he does that on both sides also.
No, I think it's good. I enjoyed my time there. I thought it was
entertaining.
I saw the movie like at almost 11 o'clock at night.
Oh,
and I was like fighting to stay awake a lot of the time. So I was like, let's let this thing be over. So that probably went into like my observation of this film. But yeah, it was good.
Lionsgate and Chad Stahelski they're planning to do an English remake.
Yeah, they already, before it even basically came out, they were already we're doing this.
It's
I'm
funny
surprised that they're redoing it because
it's funny because they did Bullet Train, which is kind of similar. I mean,
there's no reason to do this movie.
But maybe
that is interesting that they're doing.
Yeah,
because it's not exactly. I'd be curious to see what their spin on it, but it's not exactly a
anything fresh.
Yeah, I mean it's if you really want to break it down, it's Die Hard on a train.
It's Die Hard on a train too. Yeah, it's yeah.
And with maybe a more brutal edge towards the end.
Yeah,
but yeah,
it's Under Siege on a really small train.
It's just the graphic violence and these moves.
It's Die Hard 2 meets The Raid meets
or Under Siege 2 meets The Raid meets
Under Siege. Or what's the train movie that we with Chris Evans?
Snowpiercer.
That kind of
Yeah,
it's a mix of all that stuff, but I appreciate the playing with people's emotions. It would have really worked much better if the movie wasn't called Kill and the marketing wasn't, and maybe they did this on purpose, but if the marketing wasn't, this is the most bloody Indian movie ever released.
Right.
Because then if you watch this movie and it's not called Kill when it has that marketing, and you see the tone of it in the beginning and the way it starts and the way even the violence from the first half is.
Oh, then it switches.
Then it would have really
you'd be
hit
like,
if you had that switch.
Yeah.
Because I was watching it going, this isn't that bloody. This isn't that bad.
I was like, he's not killing anybody. I was like, what are you doing, buddy?
You're just hurting him. Where's the shit from the trailer?
But then I love how they turn him on and they switch him on and then it's fucking balls to the wall mayhem-ish kind of. Okay, well, with that, Anthony, you give us your final thoughts. Give me a number.
Yeah, I'm a little higher on it than Ruggs. I'm probably a lot lower on it. A little bit lower though than Imran for sure. I think it's a very worthy, if you like action movies and you can stand, you have to be able to kind of enjoy the bloody action movies where I always go back to when a movie can make me audibly go, oh, ooh, fuck. And I was definitely doing that in the theater with three other people.
Yeah, this movie does that.
That's a good indicator of some pretty damn good action. If you can stand that, I think it's worth going out of your way to go check it out. I don't think it's a game-changing movie we've seen. That's even if you compare this to The Raid, I think The Raid's still a much better film. But it's a worthy addition, and it has some interesting twists by this director. So I'd say 7.5 out of 10. Pretty solid.
All right.
I had a good time with it.
Yeah.
Right. I feel like this is like very similar to Night Comes for Us as far as a raid type movie with gore in it. And it goes pretty hard. And Midnight Meat Train is another one where it's like a horror movie on a train with like cannibals and shit.
Yeah.
And you got Train to Busan, which is the zombie movies. See, there's a lot of train movies. We talked about this. So
yes,
the concept is not new. It's not fresh. But I think that the fact it's coming from India, it's got the sensibilities, and it's really introducing us to a competent director and a competent action star. And that's like a good thing to see, right? It's like when you see Brandon Lee in his first movie, and you're like, and you see or you see like Quentin Tarantino's first movie, you're like, oh, there's this director's going to do things.
Yeah.
I'm interested to see what he does. So I'm happy I saw it, and I'd probably give it another spin. I would say like a 6.75.
Okay.
Or I could even give it a 7, a tepid 7. But like I think it's better than average, and it's a good movie. It just didn't blow me away. I think it could have lost 15 minutes.
Okie dokie. I had a lot of fun. I do agreed. I think the lead guy, I was rooting for him to kill these motherfuckers by the end. I thought he did a decent job, and he's absolute badass. And it is a solid revenge movie. It's a solid trade movie. I think deserves to be in the conversation. I will give it an 8 out of 10. I think I still like Monkey Man a little bit better. It's different.
I would watch this movie over Monkey Man every day.
I mean, they're very close, but for different reasons.
They're two completely different kind of movies.
They're different kinds of movies, yes.
They're both, they are.
They both have the similar problems. They're too long.
Perhaps
Both do get pretty brutal, but Monkey Man loses. I mean, that middle plot, it's so boring.
See, I like some of the things he was trying to do, and I like Dev Patel, but this is just different thrill ride. It's
this
definitely
one has more pedal to the metal.
Yes, you are hooting and hollering the whole time. I was absolutely doing the same thing with these kills. So maybe it's more entertaining. I think Monkey Man is just maybe a little more artsy.
Monkey Man's way more ambitious.
Yeah, a little more ambitious.
Yeah. But this is way more of like, this is all just fight scenes. This is all just
straight up
scenes.
actioner, man. If that's what you're into, you definitely want to check this out. So, okay. Let's do some news from the nation.
It's time for news from the nation. It's time for news from the nation.
It stinks. It stinks. It stinks.
Well, speaking of brown people, Daryl K posted this comment. Imran will be happy about this one with a link to the article titled "Rumor: Booster Gold will be played by Eternal star Kumail Nanjiani."
Geek boner.
Oh, shit. Well, it's a rumor. Well, and you know what? I don't know why I didn't think of this before, but
that's not actually a bad casting.
I think he's really good cast. He's goofy enough to play this goofy character. It could actually work. What do you guys think? Are they going to make another Eternals movie ever? Probably not. James Gunn is just pulling all these people from Marvel, but I'm okay with Kumail's Booster Gold because the character itself, like, not a huge Booster Gold fan.
To be honest, that never crossed my mind, but I wouldn't be mad about a Booster Gold played by Kumail.
It could work. He's Emmy nominated now.
I think it's fine.
Yeah.
I think he could pull it off.
He'll do fine.
Oh, he could definitely pull that. I mean, it's a comedic role.
Yeah, and we just need to get jacked again. We've seen him; he can get jacked.
Yeah, he can do that.
Well, he got unjacked.
Well, you're not going to hold that fucking. You can't. That's
what are you talking about? I hold my jackedness.
Yeah, you're not even in Marvel movies. But normal people who don't need to be doing that don't tend to keep that shape if they're not being paid millions of dollars in doing a movie. I thought, I was mentioning those variety interviews with Hugh Jackman and Ryan Reynolds, and Jackman was talking about just like the amount of effort it takes to stay in Wolverine shape and how he was kind of happy he didn't have to do it again, and he's doing it again. So I wonder how many more movies they can keep him around that he like wants to kind of torture himself to stay in that Wolverine shape.
It gets harder every time.
Do you think this is a one and done for Hugh Jackman?
What is he, 50, 60, something like that?
Didn't he say he's in for another more?
I think that's what we're going to find out in San Diego Comic-Con is that possibly he will be around for Avengers and Secret Wars, maybe.
Yeah.
And may still be the Wolverine for a little bit.
Hey, real quick, I didn't get to ask this, but I'm going to ask it during this segment. We're more than halfway through the year. What's the best action movie you've seen in 2024?
Oh, man.
I don't even know what I saw. I would say Beekeeper.
Yes.
I was going to, okay, the Beekeeper's in there.
Yeah.
You got Monkey Man, you got Kill, you got Boy Kills World.
Yeah, that was a fun one.
You got fucking Fall Guy.
Silent Night.
Silent Night was
there's
last
Silent
year.
Night, there's Fall Guy. Was
Bad Boys Ride or Die has come out, but we didn't watch it. And then if you want to, I don't know if you'd consider like, is Dune Part 2 an action movie?
An action movie? No, that's more like sci-fi.
You got your Roadhouse. You got your Beverly Hills Cop XLF. So there's been a lot of action movies.
I'm going to say Beekeeper.
Beekeeper is fucking good.
Because it's not, it doesn't have as, like, the action sequences are not as groundbreaking, but I think as a movie, the entertainment value that you get out of that is it's kind of a lot of fun and stupid.
Yeah.
It's like so stupid that it makes it enjoyable.
Boy Kills World had some fun shit.
I really like Boys Kill World. I like Beekeeper. Apparently, this Ministry of Gentlemen or whatever the fuck it's called is pretty good.
Gentlemanly Warfare or whatever.
Yeah.
I know. I feel like we all got decent. I think we all gave them like 7s and 8s. I think
what sticks out in terms of like just pure fun is Beekeeper, and because of recency bias, Kill, because it's just fun and
Kills in the mix.
Yeah.
Like, what's the worst one that we saw?
I mean,
I definitely did not like Argyle.
I was just going to mention Argyle. Do you bring up the Rebel Moons?
Oh, Rebel Moon. Yeah, Rebel Moon's got to be the worst one.
Argyle.
I forgot that I even watched that.
Yeah, Argyle was also not.
I would say, but yeah, those two are like, I did not like those at all. Fall Guys, I didn't really like Fall Guy that much either, to be honest.
Fall Guy was all right. This run we had, though, with Roadhouse, Monkey Man, Boy Kills World, Kill, maybe
Beverly
Fall
Hills
Guy,
Cop.
Beverly Hills Cop. It's pretty good. What about Furiosa?
Furiosa. There we go. That was a good one, too. That's awesome.
That was a good one. That was actually very good.
Yeah, there's been a lot. We've talked about a lot of action movies.
We had some good ones.
Yeah.
But what got the highest score from us? Was that Furiosa?
Oh man, I can look at my own letterbox real quick.
That's a good question. I feel like it might have been Beekeeper.
I think Beekeeper got a good score.
Furiosa. Because
my highest rated.
It's a great throwback.
Quick look. We don't consider Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes an action movie, right?
No,
that would be like Dune, I think.
So my highest rated this year of the movie, it's the tie. It's a 3-way tie.
Oh shit!
We're not going to say Dune either because Dune is like a more of an epic sci-fi movie.
Yeah,
with some action.
Yeah,
but my 3-way tie this year has been The Beekeeper.
Yeah,
Boy Kills World.
Yeah,
and Furiosa are my top.
And
3.
Furiosa, yeah,
that sounds about right.
Those are good ones.
Yeah,
Kill is definitely up there too.
Kill I almost have pretty close too.
Yeah. No, there's been a fucking solid run of some repetitive things, right? But then some fresh things, but a lot of different things also.
People are,
like the
action movies are coming out.
Like the Beekeeper is just like an attempt at starting a franchise.
It's stupid.
It's stupid. It's a really dumb attempt at starting a franchise,
but it's fucking entertaining.
Yeah,
but it is the most silly out of all of them. But for some reason, we're all down for it.
It was just simple and straightforward and old,
and
old
B
school.
puns. When you have
and
the
B
puns,
you gotta do the B puns with Jason Statham. Hopefully, he gets more. All right.
Yeah, I was just thinking, recollecting this year though. Thus far, we've watched a shit ton of action movies.
More better action movies than like superhero things. Definitely.
I think he had the most badassery though. Jason Statham. He was like the most like.
Would you put him up against Amrit from Kill? I wonder who would win.
But Amrit wasn't doing any cool shit. He was just looking cool.
He
wasn't saying cool shit.
He wasn't saying cool shit.
No, he wasn't saying cool lines.
The one line that was about it.
Like acting like like tough guy. He was just like, all right, I got to save my girlfriend and do whatever I need to do. So like as a character, the Beekeeper is just he's saying crazy shit and
Beekeeper versus Jake Gyllenhaal's Dalton. Beekeeper wins easily.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I think so.
Roadhouse is the more I think about the Roadhouse movie, I'm just flabbergasted they're making another one.
It was fine, but like it didn't need to happen. I'd rather that it not exist.
Yeah.
All right. Well, look, let's slide into what are we watching because there was some big stuff this week, fellas.
That's right.
We have Peen Ultimate episodes.
Oh, we had a lot of Peens.
You know how I love the Peen Ultimates.
Yes.
We'll start with the Acolyte. Spoiler alert.
Spoiler alert.
Just everything in general right now.
Right.
The Acolyte episode 7 Peen Ultimate. Anthony.
Yeah.
What happened? Go.
Oh, I mean, I'm not going to recap it. All I'll just say is this is just they're giving you the worst episode which is episode 3, and they're giving it to you from another perspective.
That's right. We went back to Brendock 16 years ago.
And we just have everyone acting impulsively, and I don't understand what the point of what they're trying to do here is.
I don't understand what the point of the whole
everyone
show
look
is.
stupid. So
I don't understand what the show is supposed to be about at this point.
I mean, it sounds like it looked like to me, and Ruggs, I'd love to hear your thoughts, but they're just going out of their way to make the Jedi look stupid. I mean, I don't really know what this is about and why the witch lady has to, the good witch that she just decides she wants to morph into something scary for no reason and then gets herself killed and then goes, I was going to let her go. Like, it just, what is this?
What was happening there? This was weird. So we find out what another version of what happened from the Jedi's point of view, from Saul's point of view. Or did we? That's the thing, is that we even see everything. They try to explain certain things, like the fire started and how she was actually scared She dropped it, and as far as it goes,
it's still a fire happening in a stone cave.
No, but you know what? There was a shot that kind of explained that. There was an open panel of wires going through the walls that started to catch on fire. So I was like, okay,
yeah,
the
but
fire travels down those
immediately
things.
when it hits the stone, it's going to stop.
But if there's some kind of cabling in the wall,
well,
you could travel down the cable.
If you take a really close look, right, and you really want to give them like a little bit of an olive branch, if you really want, you could probably make the case that the darker stuff that's on the bottom is wood.
Sure.
All right. You could say, okay, maybe that stuff is wood because even though it looks like stone, it could be, I don't know, wood that's, polished up to look like, I don't know. But you could give them that olive branch.
That aside, you just have, the quick summary is the Jedi are investigating this planet because it's unusual. They find life on it and they're perplexed, and then they find out these girls were made from the Force, right? But the way it's executed, fucking Squid Game guy sees these girls and just like
he's obsessed with
following them. It's just so fucking weird, and he breaks into their place.
So creepy coded. They're looking for virgins. A virgin. Yeah. I'm looking for some virgins.
Oh my God, they're looking for virgins.
But they're looking for a virgins in the Force, which is something that Qui-Gon Jinn said when he found Anakin. He's a virgins of the Force,
right?
But he said it in a way where it didn't sound like they were looking for virgins.
So what the big reveals real quick, we find out the girls are not twins, but kind of one person separated into two things. They both have midichlorians in their blood, M count.
But we couldn't cast actual twins for this.
But yeah, so it's like one consciousness split in two. We learn also that Torben was for some reason wanted to go home and couldn't tell Indara, so he runs off to grab him. We learn
he was all fucked up because the girl infiltrated.
It was so convoluted. So
yeah, she's like, "You want to go home?
Let's go start it from the back."
Wait, no. Here's just the big point. Saul kills Mother Anastasia, and we learn Indara actually killed all the witches somehow because they were controlling Kelnaka. We did get a fantastic. The Wookiee did something cool, even though he was being controlled, and they couldn't kill him.
We got to see the Wookiee fight.
I thought that fight scene was fucking dope. He's jumping and leaping. There were some dope shots in there. The show continues to give me like good action and horrible everything. Come on,
Stop giving the show
when he was flipping in the air and when Kelnaka jumped in.
Stop it!
That shit was dope.
Stop it! Stop it!
So, and then we also learned Saul purposely decided to just save one of them because he couldn't hold up the bridge to save both of them. Like, why didn't he just fly with them both over? And then he lets May.
That's not that to me. That's nothing. That's not a big plot point. That's not a.
That's not. That's all the big revelations. That's where his guilt.
I just don't understand where all of this animosity. Okay, so let's break this down a little bit. So you got the twins, and they're playing in the Force, and before that you have the Jedi that land on this planet that all of a sudden has vegetation on it. Nobody knows why.
Right.
So anyway. They're there for weeks at a time, 8 weeks. And then finally the guy who's there, who misses going home, finds out why they're there. He has no idea. What are we doing here?
Yeah.
And so all of a sudden they find out Saul goes out into the Force and finds the two twins. And he goes back and they're like, no, we can't take them.
Well, doesn't he follow them first for a bit?
He follows them.
Yeah,
he follows them. He follows them to the wall and then tries to break in. And then when he can't break in, he casually just climbs a fucking dam.
Wall. They break in the fucking place so many times. They're trespassing.
But the point is that the Jedi were like, the Jedi institution was like, no, you can't fuck with them. They belong with their family. Leave them alone.
Right.
All right. So now you have all these Jedi that are not going with their orders. They're not following their orders. And they're doing whatever the fuck they want, and they're incompetent. They're like the most incompetent group of Jedi. The only one that has their shit together is Trinity. And all of a sudden, she's like, all right, let's go get them.
Yeah, that's the thing. They're outside the fucking thing. And she goes, we can't break in. Are you like, basically, we can't break in. Are you serious? And Saul does his version of pretty please. And she goes, all right, let's go in. It's like, what is this writing?
And so I didn't understand when the Mother Anastasia starts dissolving and you see May start dissolving, and Saul called her Osha. He didn't even know who it was. So were they going to combine? I don't know, but she's a black powder in the air, and for some reason he strikes first. He starts the whole conflict, pulls out his lightsaber and stabs her. He is like a cop that accidentally used lethal force and killed the dude while in a traffic
why
stop.
would you even do that to begin with if you were going to give her to them?
Right.
Yes.
Why would you turn into a big scary thing? If
That's
your
true,
whole
because then
intent
she's
was-
like, this is what she wants. I was going to let her go.
and I got to call out again. He calls her May, right? Or he calls her Osha, whatever the fuck.
Yeah.
And he thinks it's May. But it's really May.
Yes.
And I just got to call out again. They don't look alike because it's not the same fucking actress. How am I? You can't do that where you're playing it off as twins when it's not the same person.
How good of a Jedi is he? He can't even tell the difference.
No, but I'm just saying. It's saying they don't look alike, Imran. It's not the fact that he's a Jedi. It's you've casted two different people and you're trying to play this off as their twins.
Also, are we to understand that he has now just told May that he killed her mother?
Yeah,
and
it just ends with
all
them
his fault.
Being them just completely lying.
And her mother, May's mother, the Darth Maul mother,
right?
What were they calling her? The horny witch.
Yes.
She's the horny one.
Oh, yeah, because she's got horns on.
Yeah, she's got horns on her head. So the horny one tells the May to like fucking to
Run.
do shit.
Yeah.
To fight them.
That's right. That's right.
To fucking do bad shit.
Yeah.
So her mom tells her to go into. She starts the fire. All right. So she starts the fire. Everything's burning down. Everything's being escalated by the witches, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. She tells her to get mad. That's what she said.
Yeah. Everything's being escalated by the witches. Yes, Saul kills her mother, but it was antagonized, and she saw what was happening. She saw that her mother turned into some shit and he didn't know what was going on.
Yeah.
Right.
So why does she have all this animosity? Like she doesn't see that there was a lot of shit going on and that shit was getting escalated. Like she even started the fire that fucking, I don't understand how she as an adult can't process what she saw when she was a kid.
So this whole
I
thing
would say this whole thing though
is a misunderstanding.
No, well, it's not even a misunderstanding.
No?
It is sort of, but this whole thing is the Jedi's fault.
Yeah,
this whole thing, like if Saul doesn't like they're such holier than thou assholes.
Yeah,
they see some kids and go, oh, they don't belong with them. They belong with us. Even though there's nothing that we've seen in the show to indicate that these witches were actually bad people.
But I have to say it, since the beginning of the show, Osha didn't want to be a witch.
Right.
So
he wants a Padawan, and he felt a connection, and he just gets.
I don't think he had the right to do anything that he had to do, but I think that at the end of the day, Osha would have had to compromise herself and become a witch.
Right. But I don't think think the Jedi had any. There's no reason they could they have any jurisdiction to do anything that they're doing.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like.
But now, what do you think about the fact that these witch created these people?
Right, they broke the law.
I mean, I don't even know what that means.
They broke the law. They did some shit they weren't supposed to by creating this.
Isn't it? Aren't they portraying it like the witch don't even like they have their own? It's like they have their own version of God. So like their religion might break the laws of your religion, but I don't even know that your religion exists. This is the way I live. So how are you imposing your values on me when I don't even know what your values are?
They're oppressive colonizers a little bit.
To me, it seems like they're portraying the Jedi as fucking oppressive colonizers. Yeah. Like holier than thou assholes, which is a really weird take in my opinion.
I would agree, but if the kid wants to go, right, and is like doesn't want to be around, doesn't want to partake in any of these, and there was something about sacrifices being said or something like that.
To become the witch or to advance, you had to sacrifice.
So maybe she didn't want any part of that. So I think yes, they shouldn't be there at all. But I think that there's also a desire for Osha to not be part of this family.
Yeah,
so I think it's weird.
I think it's written horribly.
The
So maybe
execution is horrible.
I think we're
struggling to put it together.
Yeah, I think we're threading out the nuance that could be there, but there's not. It's not written with that kind of nuance.
The execution is so poor. There are a couple of interesting things that they kind of try to talk about, but the execution is so fucking lacking. Let me ask you this: what is this show about? Is Saul the lead character? Is
what
it
did we
about
just build to?
OSHA? Is it about Khmer and the Sith? What the fuck is this show
I'm trying
about?
to look at it from Disney's perspective of like trying to like put this message of like Star Wars is for everyone and everyone can choose their destiny and whatever. So I'm like, in my view, I'm like, okay, OSHA wants to choose her destiny,
right?
And but her parents disapprove, right? And she's like realizes who she is, and she's not with her family. All right. And then you have like these outsiders who they don't like that come in and kind of intervene and overstep their boundaries. And then, bad stuff happens because they can't get to the reality of like this kid is different.
But OSHA got to be a Jedi and then fucking quit or something. We don't know.
But that's after the fact that there's too much baggage going on.
All I know is the show sucks. But episode 8, I don't even know. There's so many threads
There's
that
no way they
are
can
just
wrap this
kind of
up.
dangling there that they're going to have to wrap up.
There's no way. There's no way they can wrap this up satisfying.
And I just don't know what they're. I don't understand.
Well, you got the girl with the whip.
Yeah, Vanestra is going to be Khmer's master.
You know that
and they
the
have a
horny
past.
one isn't dead.
She's not?
They didn't show her die.
They showed the other witches die.
Yeah.
Which was also really lazy.
Yeah, she's
that's
just
a really lazy way to like kill them off.
They all hive mind die.
Like Trinity didn't know that she was gonna kill them, or maybe she did. But
I don't know. That's the thing. She snaps the thing and it kills all of them. Does she even know?
The structure of that scene, and you're giving it credit, and this is why I'm not giving it credit, is the Wookiee shows up.
Yeah.
But I'm pretty sure they travel there, the Wookiee and Indara.
Right.
They travel there together.
On the
so this
ship.
Wookiee shows up, jumps out to fight them. Where is Indara?
She was still on the ship, and then she just
Doing
shows
what?
up later. I don't
Doing
know.
what?
Then she shows up conveniently to jump on him when he's.
That's the way it's just structured weird. Like, the Wookiee gets possessed. Wouldn't she come out immediately and be like noticing the Wookiee was possessed and try to force pull it out of him immediately?
She was
Was
watching
she just sitting on the fucking plane?
She was watching and waiting. I did love how she flew in. But she was watching and waiting. I had that same thought. I was like, where the fuck is Indara?
So it's even if there's good action, it's not structured in a way that's believable because you're just sidelining a character for no reason.
I'll strip it down to this. The actual choreography of the action is good, and that's about it.
Yeah, it's whatever.
Well, that's fine.
Okay, so anyways, one more episode next
Can't
week.
wait to.
There's
we'll
no
definitely
way.
reviewing it.
Yeah, we got. I'll go over. We got a bunch of things we're going to review next week. They're definitely not wrapping it up. We'll see what happens. Moving on. The Boys, also Penultimate, Season 4, Episode 7. This one, a bunch of things happen. A little recap of what happens again. Spoiler alert. Legs are sawed off. A-Train is out as he fights off the Deep and Black Noir, who I just read. You know how they do the Black Noir narcoleptic? Like he's narcoleptic on the show? Apparently, the actor is actually narcoleptic, and they wrote it into the show, which is kind of funny. Frenchie just fucking comes back from prison, just conveniently
To conveniently create a virus.
create a virus to help him, and what else happened? That was weird. Oh, Homelander fires Sister Sage. I'm wondering how much of this was part of her plan, or her plan has been screwed up because
She got shot in the head.
She got shot in the head, and then her brain grew back, and now she's smart again. Oh, I also love this detail. We learned that she was fucking Black Noir when she was smart, and then she was fucking the Deep when she got lobotomized. That's kind of funny. Because he's like, did she make you lobotomize her? He's like, what? What'd you think, Anthony? Penultimate? There's some other things that happened. I can't remember.
How does it end again?
The very end is Frenchie has to cut off Kamiko's leg.
No.
And they're going to use the leg to make a virus. Oh, there's also a presidential assassination that they need to stop. Mother's Milk comes back and helps, and he gets his family.
That's not the end, Imran.
Safe. What happens at the very end? I can't remember.
Yeah, it's Butcher passes out at the bar, and then Annie has been captured by the shapeshifter. She's in. Yeah, come on, man! You just wanted to talk and say every single part of the thing.
I forgot about the shapeshifter.
She fucks the guy in her suit.
Okay, so now Huey has lost his dad. He's been sexually assaulted, and now he had non-consensual sex. They're really putting him through the ringer. Let me ask you guys this: is it a little bit weird or lazy or something to throw in a shapeshifter this late in the fucking show? Has this shapeshifter been around the whole time? We didn't know it. I thought that was weird.
It is pretty lazy, yeah.
I don't think it's that lazy. I'll say here's why I don't think it's lazy, because the show copies all sorts of superheroes all the time. And if there was a plot to take down it actually made sense to me. If there was a plot to take down the government, you'd want a shapeshifter.
You want a shapeshifter. I do love how this shapeshifter, she has to literally rip her skin off.
That's fucking gross.
Which is a very boys thing to do. But that was a crazy ending.
I thought it was good. I'm following the story, so.
And then we had.
I don't have as strong of thoughts on this. I'll wait until the last episode, but
it's fine.
They threw in some Ryan stuff again to remind us that he's still around and
he's still here.
He's part of the plot, I guess, and he's doing the thing with the puppets and the Antifa song. And I was like, okay,
I'm just waiting for Venom to come.
Venom. So it looks like Kessler can shut off Butcher. Maybe is that what they're alluding to? Because he was smiling like he did that. Like he just.
I think he's just real sick.
He's sick. Yeah, he's not doing well. But I did like it, and I'm in for the finale. But they're gonna hold back some shit because they have another season. So.
Yeah, we'll see what happens.
I don't know. Any more deaths you think will happen?
I think that Firecracker's going to die.
So, what is this show about? What do we have to resolve? There's a Victoria Newman thing. There's presidential assassination they got to stop. They still got to try to kill Homelander.
They're trying to stop the assassination because it'll send the country into chaos.
Sure, right.
And they're also trying to make the virus strong enough to take out Homelander and potentially Newman.
Yes, and remember, Samir is like, I'll make this, but don't use it on her. But they're gonna. At one point, he was like, maybe we just take out Newman, I don't know. There's a lot of limbs being cut off. That scene where he cut her leg off I was like, holy shit, what is happening? And then she was fine afterwards. I guess she has
Wolverine powers.
Yeah, she's Wolverine.
Yeah, she could grow back. She could grow back an arm earlier in the.
I wonder if her leg will just grow back. It should, right?
Will. Yeah.
Oh, I
the next scene.
The
next scene they cut to her leg was already a baby leg.
Oh, what? I missed that. Okay, so it's like a Deadpool thing. I forgot about that, but that was fucking wild. But good move by Frenchie.
Yeah, no, it's good. I mean, it's good. I have same complaints I had earlier in that it's a little too on the nose at some points, but it's I'm invested enough in the characters where I want to see what's going to happen.
And they give us a little Kamiko flashback too. We find out why when she stopped talking, what really happened. It was okay information we needed, I guess. I don't know. So shapeshifter fucking changes the whole deal. All right. Let's get to the third show I'm so looking forward to every week now. It's the best of these, House of the Dragon. We're season 2, episode 5. After an action-packed, all spoilers.
Spoiler alert.
Episode 4, I kind of expected kind of slower, more plot-heavy episode, and that's what we got. And it's still really good.
Yeah.
What's the big takeaway in this one, Anthony?
I don't know. There's lots of little things. I mean, Aemon's on the throne.
Aegon's not dead, but he's fucking
Aegon's
hurt.
not dead, but he wakes up towards the end.
Yes, he says mummy.
Whatchamacallit, Daemon wants to get the throne. He wants to be king. I don't know if he wants it for himself, only for himself, but he wants to be king.
Or will he share it?
Right. What else happens? They need to get an army. Harrenhal's not living up to what Daemon thought he could get in terms of his expectations of conquering the Riverlands is not going to be as easy as he thought.
They're building it back up, though. They're trying to build it back up.
And then, what's his name? Jaehaerys. Is it Jaehaerys?
Jaehaerys.
Jaehaerys is son. They've got dragons. They've got bigger dragons, but they want to look down the Targaryen lineage to see if there's some sort of bastard or someone with a Targaryen blood in them that they can use to get the dragons.
So that was like the big ending, right? She's like, oh, look at all these. We got to look at all these papers where you can find another Targaryen on an outside third generation.
You can't switch dragons.
I don't know. I think each dragon needs a rider, and they were talking about how like it's a special thing, and not everybody fits or connects. I did love the scene where they're trying to vote on a regent, and Alicent is there, and kind of the hypocrisy of her. Like, she doesn't want Rhaenyra, a woman, to be the king, but she wants to be regent, and they're all like, look, people are not going to follow a woman. I don't know what to tell you. And even Kristen Cole is like, I think it should be Aemon. And then that shot, slow panning on her, just processing this as the men start talking and making decisions. I love that moment. And she's just like uncomfortable, and you can see in her face, like, the fuck.
Also, it's also like, you know, Aemon right away he's on the throne, and he's like taking charge right away.
Yeah, he had plans ready. He had shit he had written down that he wanted to do. How about them parading the head of Meleys through the Red Keep, through over there? A good move or bad move?
That's going to backfire.
PR wise, it's going to backfire.
So did you watch the Game of Thrones after part? Yeah.
Yes.
So I'll recap that. They're basically saying it's a bad move because the townsfolk all look up to dragons, and you're basically they all looked up to the Targaryens as gods.
Yeah.
And this was a beloved dragon. And now that that dragon is gone, it's kind of putting a dent in the armor of, wait, are the Targaryens even gods? Because you can kill the dragon.
Right. No, I love that, where Kristen Cole is like, I thought people are going to be happy about this. And you hear people go, I remember seeing her fly up in the sky. Like, they looked up to Meleys.
Can I ask a question about fireproof Targaryens? Is that a thing?
Oh, that armor Aegon was wearing apparently is made out of Valyrian steel, which is fireproof, but everybody else's armor just melts. So that's why it kind of fused to his body.
Khaleesi didn't. She was the mother of dragons. She could walk through fire, right?
Oh, yeah, that's a good point.
Question. Yeah,
that's a good point.
There's no other Targaryens that have that fireproof blood. Fireproof Targaryen?
Yeah, no, that's a good point. I don't know why she could walk through fire, but they couldn't.
There was something special about her, maybe, or something. I don't know. Yeah.
I thought if you were a pure Targaryen, you couldn't get burnt. But
Aemon is pure. Yeah, he's. That's the Alicent blood in him. He's not pure. Alicent.
Yeah.
Hightower.
Yeah. There's Hightower blood.
You need to be from two Targaryens fucking, I think.
Yeah, you need to be brother, sister, cousin. Yes. I did love how they brought...
Isn't Corlys a Targaryen? He's got white hair.
Yeah. Yeah, he's a
Valerian.
Oh, he's Corlys Valerian. You're right. Oh, and she asked him to be hand, which I think is great, because she fucking needs a hand. You need some kind of structure there, Rhaenyra. Your shit is all over the place at this moment.
It was, not as action packed as the last one, but it's still, it's good. I like it a lot.
It's a setup episode.
It's a great setup, though.
The next one's going to be, all the shit's going to
It's moving things along well, and it's fucking
How many more episodes have we got? There's only 5 episodes.
3 left. This is episode 5.
Oh, my God.
Yeah. All right. Anyways, we're just going to end the show here. I just want to mention next week, here's the plan, fellas. Acolyte season finale. The Boys season 4 finale.
Right.
And you know what comes out July 19th, this Friday, Thursday? Cobra Kai season 6, part 1.
Oh, shit.
First 5 episodes.
Nice.
Right. Should we knock all that shit out next week?
Wait, first 5 episodes?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Remember, the whole season is 15 episodes, and they're splitting it up into 3 drops of 5 episodes.
Oh, wow.
So we're just getting 5 episodes of the final season of Cobra Kai this week. Part 1.
Wow, that's a lot.
Think about it. Okay. Think about it. Let us know. There'll be spoiler things in
You're talking
the Facebook
about
group.
How many hours of TV?
It's like 5, 6, 7, around 7. We'll see what happens. Maybe we just do the first couple, whatever. We definitely
maybe we do that for
the following week. Maybe we save
the following week or something.
All right. Some or all of those things will be discussed in detail next week, listener. Ruggs, where can the listener find you?
At Rug Boy Show on X, where I'll be reading all kinds of conspiracy theories.
Oh, that's where you get the best ones, man. Most of them tweeted by Elon Musk himself, which is fantastic. Anthony, where can the listener find you this week?
You can find me online at Really Rug Boy. Check it out.
Hiding in the basement from tornadoes, also possibly.
Yep,
that happens sometimes. In the meantime, listener, check out our show notes.
No one's
Visit
gonna
our
understand what
website,
you're talking about there.
jockandnerd.com. All the links are there. Share the show, subscribe, follow. Thank you for listening to the Jock and Nerd podcast. My name is Imran.
My name's Anthony.
He's the Jock.
He's the nerd.
We'll peep you next time.
I want to peep you.
It's fucking awesome.
Yeah, that's really good.
I like turtles. I like turtles.
Thing I offered you a chance to be a cop, and you blew it.
Jock and Nerd.